What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Yo, It's the Kicks. It's your man AB. So, hope everyone's having a great day today. Just making sure everything is hooked up on Instagram Live as well. So, let me get that set up for you all right now. All right, so we good to go. So, we good to go. Just want to make sure everyone is good to go right now. Make sure everyone can hear me. All right. And my man Spanish Ran, let me bring him online right now.
There we go.
Yo, what's good, Ran?
What's going on, man? Hope all is well, my G.
Man, everything's going great, man. Feel a little down right now. The Knicks lost. I'm a Knicks fan, by the way, Rand. So I don't know if you knew that.
Really?
I got the Knicks, repping the Knicks. You
Nah,
know
respect,
what
respect.
I'm
Yeah,
saying, man?
nice, dope. Yo, man,
Yeah,
listen, it's been 20 something years, man. Like we gotta you gotta we hope for the best right now. At this point, hope for the
yeah,
best and all that. But
yeah.
yeah, man.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact. We've been down for quite some time, but the Knicks have been up the past couple of years. Since Tibbs got there, been in the playoffs every year.
Yeah,
Down 3-1. That first game, the Knicks should have won. I don't know how they blew that game. Blew a 15-point lead, like with 4 minutes left.
yeah.
Halliburton hit that three-pointer sitting in overtime. So
That
that was a
crazy shot.
deflated, crazy shot. It should be tied. It should be tied 2-2 to be real, man. And we could have
Yeah,
won game two as well.
yeah,
So I mean, gotta stop Indiana, man. They offense is like going
yeah.
crazy right now.
Yeah, they're all over the place. I feel like game one that was like really our game. So it was
Yeah,
really it's really no excuse. We just gave that game up, and like you said, it should have been 2-2. But
should be.
that's how the game goes. You know what I mean? Be
Yeah,
honest with you, when they beat the Celtics, I ain't never seen that type of reception in real time
crazy.
of how crazy 34th Street or you know what I mean, like the whole MSG look crazy. Like I haven't seen that shit I don't even think when they actually made it to the championship it was like that. So
Yeah,
you could kind of really see how it's been such a void of like them winning, that when they actually passed the second round, that shit, it was like a crazy experience and people were
yeah,
crying. People were fucking crying because they never seen they haven't seen that in 25, so I believe 25 years. So hope for the best. At this point right now, it's just like they made it this far. I can't even get mad at that.
yeah. True that. True that. You're right, man. And it's been a long time since the final, since Spreewell and Allen Houston. So
Yeah,
and I
yeah, for
and
sure.
and I remember seeing hearing Cameron mention after they beat Boston, he was like, this is a warning to the rest of the world. If the Knicks go to the finals, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be
Yeah,
crazy.
oh yeah,
So
yeah. Without we seen what they did with the guy when wearing the Pacers jersey. They're throwing garbage at. So no
yeah,
excuse. I mean, that's not a great representation and all that. But you see how crazy the pride was, and how people are really, on some real New York
yeah,
ecstatic, have championship, close to the championship. So it was like I said, it was a void. The closest thing that I seen like that, I mean, was when the Eagles won. I went to Philadelphia.
yeah, yeah.
But that pride
Okay.
in Philly is a lot more is crazy. Like I went to Philly when they won the AFC, and every block, everybody was just yelling, screaming, going crazy. And I never seen something like that besides being like going to Yankee Stadium and having that Yankee pride.
Yeah,
But Philadelphia fans is crazy just as much. So to see the New York fans for the Knicks, that was like the second closest craziest shit that I seen. You know what I mean?
it's a lot of similarities though with Philadelphia and New York when it comes to their
Yeah,
fan base. I agree, man. They proudful and they don't play no games. Like I seen PG was just mentioning like when he was going through the parade when the Eagles won the chip. And he said they yelled out Tobias. It was like, yo, we could have killed Tobias for this shit, you know what I'm saying? It
hmm
was like,
yeah, yeah. It's
and
crazy.
I mean, they're gonna let you know, man. They blunt. They're prideful about their teams, and it's only right. I mean, when you think about New York, it's the Mecca. It's the Mecca, man. So when you think about basketball, you think about MSG. That's where people want to go. That's your dream. Like as a kid to
Yeah,
go to MSG and show out. So it's good. It's good for basketball to see the Knicks doing good like this. So I'm excited. I still got hope. Still got hope. Rand. They come back from the 3-1 lead, man.
Yo,
They
it's
going
possible.
back home. It's possible. It definitely is because it's winnable games. It's winnable games for sure.
Yeah,
So the Knicks just gotta take their time, man, for real, dog. Because
yeah.
just
I mean,
one game at
listen,
a time.
every individual player played their part. Like Josh
Yep.
Hart, Carl Anthony Towns. I
True.
mean, Jalen Brunson was. These guys, everybody played their role in doing what they.
Everybody.
Like if one player was not doing what they had to do, the other one carried it, and that's what pretty much
Yep.
what it's all about. Carl
Yep.
Anthony Towns pretty much carried that game when they
Yep.
won. And they were down by
Exactly.
20. I think they got this thing now that is like to be down by 20 and come back. Like
Come back.
it's just it's like you go and catch you end up going to catch a heart attack because of the Knicks. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
Like because it's
That's a
like
fact.
it's so crazy. Like how they made it
It
this far.
is.
I mean, it's
That's
nuts.
true.
But
That's real though. That's real, Red man. I feel like it's a great time, man, to be from New York. You got the basketball. You also got hip hop, man, with Joey Badass, holding it down, man, from Brooklyn. That was a great competitive sport right there, man. That sparring he had with Daylight, Rayvon. I think that's just great for hip hop overall, man. I love to see that. And it put a spotlight back on rapping. Like Cat spitting,
yeah,
like, hey, this is what it's about at the end of the day. And I think it's really great for Joey Badass because it's to remind people, like, yo, I'm not just acting. I'm not just an actor. I'm an MC first. Like people forget,
right.
like
Yeah,
Joey is one of those guys. Dropped a classic at 16 with 1999,
yeah.
and all his albums been really great. Even with 2000, I feel like that was slept on. It was a really great album. So, I mean, how do you feel about that? Just seeing that competitive spirit back, and also seeing people putting the focus, like, okay, we it's been guys out here in New York been spitting, but how you feel about that? Just seeing the focus on New York and just on the competitive spirit of rapping.
It's dope. I mean, my thing is like it goes in both worlds, right? So you got
Yeah.
the mainstream. So in mainstream, it's dope to see the eyes of actually people really rapping and people paying
Hmm.
attention to the actual spitters. But if you really pay attention, like that's been going on even in the underground.
Facts.
And so for me, it's just like, oh, that's cool, but there's a lot more
Yeah.
if you really do your research. But I don't want to sound like that guy either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But of course, Joey Badass comes from that underground, old
Yep.
school, dirty type of vinyl, boom bap
Facts.
type of
Boom
beat.
bap. He come from that.
When 1999 dropped, I mean, it's kind of like you see him growing up, like right in
Yep.
front of your eyes. So you kind of see his come up from when he first started when he was in high
Yep.
school, and then being from New York, you kind of see Pro Era as a crew
Yep.
individually, all them blossomed into what they do, and
That's
they grew
true.
to be their own entity and all that. But to see
Yep.
from that competition goes, I mean, it's dope. I mean, to be honest
Yes,
with you,
dope.
um, of course, I knew who Daylight was from battle rapping and everything.
Yeah.
I wasn't too much of a fan of the songs that he did,
I
but I
agree.
actually was more impressed with Ray Vaughn.
Yeah,
Ray
me
Vaughn.
too.
I knew he dropped the album, but I didn't really pay. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't really. I guess the promotion behind it, they didn't really focus on it heavy. I mean, I
Yeah.
could be at least in my algorithm, it wasn't in my face for me to pay attention to it.
Yep.
But to hear the back and forth with him, and he had a lot of dope lines and
He
dope
did.
there
He
towards
did.
Joey that I feel like he is really obviously Joey was by himself and people will say he's the winner, but I think the real winner is Ray Vaughn because a lot of people didn't
Yep.
know who he is and then end up finding out, and now
Agree.
they're gonna know him as the guy who battled Joey Badass and
Joey
held his own.
Badass. He held his own. I agree with that, Ran, 100%. It put so much eyes on Ray Bond,
Yeah,
with his first like real project he just dropped with TDE. And a lot of
yeah,
people didn't know who he was before that battle, right? So it was
yeah,
able to get eyes. And I think, it really started with the whole Crash Out Heritage where he did a, freestyle over Hard Part 6 beat, where he
yeah,
sent shots at Joey Badass. And when the battle really started after that Red Bull freestyle, it did put eyes on it. And I think Ray Vaughn have a bright future. Like he
yeah,
got the pen where he could actually rap, make
mhm,
songs with substance, but also you could see that he had that potential to make like a hit, a song that could get played on the radio as well. So I think
Yo,
what TDE is doing is really great. I think they really take their time with their artists. I think you don't see that a lot nowadays, right? With the labels and with A&Rs. And I know you, with your background as an A&R, that's something that you did as well. And I know you was one of the first people to really champion that new sound, like with Griselda, for example, with Griselda and also with Rhapsody and Jamila as well. So I like seeing that from TDE. I do, and I like what Top was like. You know what, Ray, go ahead, engage in that battle. Engage in a lot of. It's actually like, nah, don't do it, especially against a seasoned vet like Joey Badass. But I think it's dope, man. But also, like you mentioned, when people mention about like, hey, the spitters been around. Like they've been around, man. Especially just in New York, for example. With Rome Streets is one of those guys. We mentioned Griselda come out of Buffalo. Then also other cats in upstate New York. You see Fergie Baby doing his thing in Harlem. K Cash is another one who dropped Nixon
yo,
Six. And it's crazy. He's
yeah,
crazy with it, man.
that was one of my favorite ones out that whole
Yep.
mix up. Even with Reason, I like the Reason
Reason.
joint. That
Yep.
Reason held his own.
He did.
But I mean, outside of like Ray Vaughn and Joey, and even with Daylight, I like to say that even the guys from the outside
Yep.
coming into that battle, they had some
Yep.
standouts like K
I
Cash,
do. K Cash.
um,
Yep.
yeah, like you know what I'm saying. So there's a lot of guys that
It's a
really
lot
are
of guys, man.
that are really dope. Even with like you mentioned from the wrong streets, and this, like I
Yeah.
said prior, it's like
Prior.
they're all
Yeah.
over. They're
They
all
all
over.
over. They all over, man. So I love to see that, man, because I think people forget, like, it's a lot of great music still out, like you
Yeah,
mentioned, man. And a lot of guys is independent and underground. And I do feel like right now, Rand, before we get into the new album we got with Blue Azul, man, and I do feel like the underground independent is actually influencing a lot of cats in the mainstream right now. To be real, man. I think, for example, seeing Two Chains collaborating with Alchemist and Larry June, and now announced he gonna drop the album with Status Selector as well, and got West Side Gun gonna be on the album. So just seeing someone of that nature, being influenced from that. Even I say Yachty, little Yachty with his production, with the loops, with
yeah.
the samples, like that stuff you don't really hear in that world like that consistently. So I think a lot of guys in the independent underground world is definitely influencing the mainstream right now. I think it's
I
coming
would
back to that era.
I would like to say I would like to give all credit to really West Side Gun,
Yeah,
and
the West Side. Yep.
because he's like in the in between. So
Yep.
he's still with like the track. He's still gonna he's gonna be on the album with Travis Scott, but then at the same time he's gonna do a joint with what I mean, the most underground rapper that's coming up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Or ST Nack. So like the
ST Nack is crazy, by the way.
Yeah, you know
Crazy.
what I mean. So
Yeah.
he's in that middle cusp, but he's kind of
Agree.
blending. He's actually blending both worlds
Worlds
to
together.
the mainstream. You know what I mean? And I will give that credit to it. I mean, look at Conductor. You
Yep.
know what I mean? Like he did something with Conductor, and now Conductor's
Yep.
doing something for Drake and Joey and Wiz.
Show it.
It just became a domino effect after that. So I like to
Yeah.
give all credit due to West Side Gun to
West
be
Side.
involved into mainstream, blending with the mainstream and underground, and giving that influence for
Yep.
mainstream artists to do the independent route.
Facts.
Because independent has always been a thing. We always heard about it for years. So
Oh,
like from the Tech Nines, it was like probably the most
yeah.
successful, especially
Successful.
during the '90s and early
Yep.
2000s, of the independent to champion it and people
Yep.
not really getting it, but then later on as you go into your career more than ever, independent is like the thing to go for. You
It's
know
the
what I mean?
thing to go. It's the thing to go. Like, you know what? Like when I was younger, Rand, I remember when Cormega, when he left Def Jam and went independent, I think he was with
Wow.
Land Speed Records, and he was doing numbers like
Hmm.
90 to 100,000
Yeah.
independently. He won like the Independent Award, Best Rap Album at the Source Awards back in after when True Meaning dropped. And seeing
Wow.
him, I was like, damn, that's a blueprint right
Yeah.
there. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was an artist, I would want to go independent, even though it's not easy. It still is a lot of work, but you got control. You could drop whenever you want to drop. So seeing Mega, seeing like the Tech Nines, like you mentioned, man, kind of really,
Or even I mean down south
yeah,
played
down south.
down
Facts.
south played a big blueprint. Like
Yep.
from even 3 6 Mafia having their record label hypnotized minds to
Suave House.
Suave House. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean these guys are already selling. I mean,
Out the trunk.
yeah, out the trunk. You had
Out the
Paul
trunk.
Wall, Slim Doug. You had Chameleon there already, multi-millionaires before they even signed a deal. They
I
only did
did.
the deal so they could get more known.
No, but they was already had money. Like
They
Slim Doug
already
was
had
already
money.
the title already platinum. He said he already had money. So
Already
you're
had
right.
houses and cars. You know what I mean?
That's
So
facts.
I like to give credit to down. I mean down south for sure that they were
Yeah.
heavy on the. They're still heavy on the independent route.
Still.
And there's many other artists. Even if you want to give credit to people in the Bay Area, like you
The
got guys
Bay.
from like, they were heavy on independency also. So
E40 in the click,
E40,
that's where Master P got a lot of his game from when he moved out there to Richmond in the Bay and
exactly.
stuff like
Uh,
so.
mm-hmm.
And we seen what happened after he left, that area. No Limit
Got
took
the
off. So
check.
yeah, the Bay has definitely been holding it down, man. In just California as a whole when it comes to being independent, I agree with that 100%, man. We got a lot of great stuff going on, Ran, man. So definitely want to talk about, man, your latest album with Blue, Deja Blue, which is an amazing album, man. I love Blue style, man, because Blue he drop a little bit of everything, right? He bring you into his world, right? And he give you gems as well when it comes to the current landscape, when it comes to economics, when it comes to political, when it comes to everything. He make you aware of your surroundings. He really truly is embody that word conscious, but also keep you street as well.
Yeah.
So man, just talk about that chemistry that you have with him, because if I'm not mistaken, Ren, and correct me, this is like y'all ninth project together, right? I want to say ninth,
Shit, I can't.
around 19, around that area, around that,
I,
man. It's even a
I
lot.
can't. I can't even count no more. At this point, I don't even count. I just keep on
Yeah,
going. I don't even count, but it's probably up there, like 9 or 10.
yeah.
But yeah, yeah. I mean, that's before music. That's my brother. So I mean,
Hmm.
we knew each other for 20 plus years. So the music thing is probably secondary to us. Like, not to say secondary in the sense like we don't think about it, but our friendship is more important
Hmm.
than music. And then whatever comes across the time of us being creative, we just combine thoughts and come up with ideas and just pretty much just lock in. So there's no
Yeah,
really thought process of like we need to do an album. It's just really going for the moment. It's in the mood of like what do we like, what's it inspiring us to do next, what can we do
hmm,
different that we haven't done yet. So as far as the chemistry goes, it's just brotherhood. You know what I mean? So I
yeah,
knew, like, and I talk to him every day. So it's
yeah,
like, so it's really like I don't look at it like as artist producer.
yeah.
It's just that we're very good at what we do,
We
and
do.
we um we just pretty much connect thoughts and come up with ideas and just create, and then whatever
Yeah,
comes out of that, it could be a project from now or a project next year or 2 years from now. As long as it stays within the time and it's something different that we did before that we haven't done yet,
yeah.
then we're ready to go. You know what I mean? I'm pretty much like that with everybody. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
as far as the chemistry goes, it's just yeah, it's all brotherhood.
Yeah, man. And one thing that always stand out about your projects is in general is how it sounds. Like the engineering, the mix and
Oh man,
mastering just sounds so crisp and so clear, dog. And which you don't really see that a lot of times, right? But I hear it in this album, man. Like I love that, man, because I feel like you do a great job of laying the canvas out for Blue, for him just to be himself, like you mentioned, man. Talk about just that process when it comes to working with Blue and also creating those beats. Because I feel like with him, it's a lot of jazzy, soulful joints, right? A lot of melodic joints. When I hear like with maybe with Aldo, it's that grimy feel, right? So
yeah.
how you able to create that, man, and let Blue just use that canvas and just be his natural self when it comes to like making beats with him?
It's all about personality, like how
Yeah.
you are as a
Hmm.
person. So like I said, like this is my brother, so I already know this
Hmm.
type of stuff that he likes or what he likes to talk about and the subject matter behind it. He can come off aggressive, but at the same time, his style is a little more
Yeah.
smooth. Um, and like and anything I pretty much come across of, like from samples, like you said, with jazzy, or even with the theme of what we had in mind, I will more focus on what type of genre that will blend with the theme. So with the title, I would like to go off of titles and pretty much stem off of finding samples that could match
Yeah,
with that aesthetic. Um,
yeah,
it's a process. I'm not gonna say that shit is
yeah,
easy, but you know what I mean. Like it's just really just digging and finding
yeah.
new sounds and everything. It's always a challenge. My thing, the hardest part about what I do is just making it sound sonically better than what it was before.
Mhm.
Like I wanted to
Yeah,
make it. I want to make this more like I appreciate that too of this the whole how it sounds crispy and
yeah,
the
man.
production is I take real pride on that because I spend hours on just making sure that the sonic is like how sonically it's next level or
Next
it's
level.
his standard of like, oh, this shit, did they do this in a big studio, because we really did it in my house, and I'm really good at what I do, and
Yeah.
but I really take pride in making sure it has that sound and aesthetic,
Hmm.
and it gives you that feel. And I go off a feeling too. So when it comes off to how he, I like to say that I like to be the therapist behind what they're telling me. So wherever he's in the
Yeah, I
mood, I
love
always
that.
try to find that sound that matches that mood and what he wants to talk about, and just pretty much like actor and director. I got the canvas, and all I
Hmm.
need you to do is just pretty much paint that picture
Yep.
over the
Paint that
canvas.
picture, man. I agree, man. And I want to talk about the first track on the album. Is it Daily Dudes? Correct me
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I'm your Daily
Dolly,
Dudes,
Dolly do, Dolly.
Daily Dudes, right?
Mhm.
That sets the tone of the album. I feel like, man. Going into that, I love that joint, man. I had to play multiple times when I actually pressed play on the album. Talk about just that mindset of making that particular beat, right? How did that track come about?
Um, so pretty much with the theme of the album, it's kind of like it's like Walt Disney mixed with Salvador Dali. They had like a little
Mhm.
cartoon back in the day. It's called Destino, and so both of them are creative but bugged out minds at the same time. If you really
Mhm.
go deep into that rabbit hole, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yep.
so in a PG-13 matter, I would like to say he's Dali and I'm Walt Disney. I'm the man behind the scenes, like he's the man
Yeah.
painting pictures, you know. So
Uh-huh.
so I pretty much kind of like if you hear the beginning of the album, you hear Dolly talking. So he's just
Yep.
explaining his creative process, and I heard the sample, and I was like, oh, this sounds like a perfect
Yeah.
intro. Let me just add this. Don't really know real deep dive into that. It's just and when I'm making something, I just pretty much go in that zone. I don't really overthink it. I just create, and then I send, or he'll pull up, and then he will record, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, that kind of like just set the tone off of the title,
Yeah.
Deja Blue, like Deja Blue is like a whole messing with wordplay, and yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, I love that track, man.
Yeah.
And what I like how it is blended in perfectly with Handsome Dan, right? And right when I heard them horns, I was like, "Yo, okay," you know what I'm saying? Because it's
Yeah.
different from Dally Dudes, right? And you got the horns in it, man. And I just love that joint, bro. I love that a lot, man. Talk about like just your versatility, man. Like when it comes to okay, I'm gonna make this particular track, right? Like with Dally Dudes, and also I want to get into just a different bag when it comes to Handsome Dan.
Yeah. I mean, just listening to albums, just listening to old albums
Yeah.
that I grew up on, and hearing the cohesiveness and not everything sounding the same, but still gives you a certain feel. And I always like to use a
Mm-hmm.
blueprint of like, depending on where I'm listening, I listen to a lot of different things. So sometimes I will go into this Jay Dilla bag, or sometimes I'll go into a
Dilla,
Mad bag, and I'm like, yo, that they sample all over the place. So they
man,
either
they
they
really do.
you know what I mean? So I like to use that as a template. Like Madlib is one of my biggest inspirations. So
Yep.
you have a guy who will sample soulful right here, and then he'll sample some crazy Brazilian record
Mm-hmm.
and still make it make sense, you know?
He sure would make a whole album full of Brazilian samples, dog. He
But
had to create. He
yeah,
created his own band. Like it was his own band.
yeah,
I thought it was like an actual band, but it was just him. He created.
yeah,
Yeah. So.
yeah. So I like to go off of that template. I like to use
Mhm.
those guys as templates of like don't stick into one pocket. Try to find other places to find some type of art and inspiration, because there's music all over that people never ever heard, and they don't even that they haven't even tapped to. And I
Mhm.
like to go into that little niche and little bag of, let me see what they got in Brazil, or let me see what they got in some
Yep.
crazy country that nobody ever really heard of, because there's music all around. So, and there's always
Facts.
gonna be some type of crazy horn or some crazy sound that nobody has used yet. So that pretty much inspired that track. Like, let me go into this Mad Lib bag. Let me go into that little rabbit hole of trying to find something different, and not stay into the soulful record, or stay into the
Mhm.
hard hip hop record, or just the rock, or anything that has aggression on it. Let me try to find something a little more different that still makes sense, but different for me, or challenge
Different.
myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. And you see that as well. It goes back to what you mentioned. Like if you work with that particular artist, goes off their personality as well. So yeah, man. I shout out to Madlib. I'm a huge fan of Madlib as well, man.
Super. Yeah.
So another track, man, it's a two for one, I call it, right? With High Price and Kaboom, right?
No,
And when I was listening to High Price and I heard, I'm like, okay, is this a different track? Then I heard Kaboom. I'm like, yo, man, those joints is so jazzy, so soulful, man. Like, I love those tracks right there, man. I be battling, like, is it which one's my favorite? Is it High Price Kaboom? Is it Off the Moet? Like,
that's
like
my favorite record.
I love that track, man, with High Price and Kaboom, bro. Man, talk about like what made you want to go with that two for one. Like what we gonna do two tracks, on for track six for High Price Kaboom, man. Because
Um,
that was an ill creation between you
yeah,
and Blue.
nah, dope. Yeah, we used to do that in our early projects. Like when we
Hmm.
did MF Blue, we will have like two songs, but sometimes depending on the beat, it could be a little long winded and be like, yo, I
Hmm.
don't really know what much to say. Especially on his part, he'll be like, I could go off, but I don't want to drag this song too much. So
Gotcha.
if I could make this, it's just like one joint and do a switch up, because even from classic records, there's always a joint that has a crazy switch up that you
Hmm.
always will remember. With a million, like Jay-Z, a million,
Yep.
the beats just change.
Two
So
beat fans.
those always excite me. So something like that, in
Hmm.
that sense of like, let's try to do that and have two different feels, but still make sense.
Making sense.
And with Kaboom, he kind of just set off, like he just went into a whole nother pocket of the, because that's the thing
Yeah.
with Blue. He always finds a pocket that nobody has ever tried to tap into, or try to really get into that realm. He'll find a way to have a different type of flow that nobody has ever really done or tried to
Yeah.
use. And he kind of mastered that at this point. Like he'll find a flow, and I'll just feed off of it. So I'll add like a little effects
Yep.
here off of his flow, and pretty much just go off of that. But yeah, that Kaboom is dope. They're both my favorite records. But
Yep.
when you mention Off the Moet, that's my favorite record.
Optimal way is crazy.
That's my favorite record for sure. Like I was playing that beat on a beat set that I did probably like last year, and that was one of the. I don't really play my beats like that. Just listening to it
Mhm.
by itself. I get into this little phase of like, all right, I get a little tired of it, and let me try to
Yeah.
play something else. But
Then move
that was just
on.
one of them beats that I could keep on listening to on repeat, with or
Mhm.
without somebody. But I just wanted to hear somebody on it, and his, like, going back to him, like I'm like, I could hear him on it, I could hear his tone
Yeah.
on it. And when he did what he did, now, and that became one of my favorite songs, and
Yeah.
came out dope.
Yeah, Ultimo Way is crazy. It's crazy, man. I love that style. Like it puts you in a vibe. You like you
Mhm.
want to get a bottle of Moet, you know what I'm saying, and just chill and relax, man. Like that
Yeah,
that beat puts you in that mood, man. And with High Price Kaboom as well, man. I love those two joints with High Price Kaboom is crazy, man.
appreciate
Another joint, man, I want to talk about, Ran, is Closer. Closer,
it.
man. Yo, it's like when I first heard it, I felt like Muhammad Ali or some Rumble Young Man
Yeah,
Rumble. That's what it felt like. I felt like rumbling, dog. Like get you
yeah,
in that fighting mood. You know what I'm saying? Like I love that joint, bro. And I was bumping that in the whip, man. I was like, man, it sounds so good in the whip, dog. Like for real,
yeah.
man. I love that joint. That's one of my favorites as well, man.
So
And
as well, yeah.
I had to play that couple of times, man. And Blue was going off on that track. But I love that sound though, man. I love how each each beat on that album, man, is something different. It don't sound the same as the previous joint. You know what I'm saying? So, man, talk more about that creation of Closer, man.
Damn. Same scenario. Just
Yeah.
finding something different, more up tempo beat. Let me try to find
Hmm.
something a little more kind of like Saturday Night Fever, dancing like a little
Yeah.
bop that you could just bop your heads to all day. And that to be honest with you, I remember. I think I went to a show. It was like I forgot what show it was. Like people just rap like one of them up and coming shows. Like a bunch of people like in the underground scene rapping.
Yeah.
And I just kept on seeing people's head movements as far as like bopping to a certain beat. And I was like, I gotta make something like that to give you this, like the whole feel of it, like the BPM, like what can I make that BPM make people just want to dance or just move their body,
Hmm.
like So I came across that sample and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna make some drums. I'm gonna do some drums that could get somebody in the zone that just want to just do this all day.
Yeah.
Even if he wants to perform, I have somebody just want to just move their shoulders left and right or getting that feel. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
that be pretty much or me going to a show, seeing people's body language and how they are with a certain BPM
Hmm.
made me want to create that as far as like being as far as finding a BPM and I guess a feel behind on
Yeah.
that. So and him doing what he did, like he followed through and yeah, created that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
but I like to dedicate that to going to them shows. That's why it's important to go
Yeah.
as a producer go to the shows just to
Mhm.
see the temperature, feel the room. Let me see where everybody's listening to, what people. It's kind of like the old school shit. How rappers used to try to find a hit. They'll go to the club
Yeah. Go to a club.
and they'll look around to see what is everybody listening to or what they
Hmm.
what's the new, what's the end. That's my version of it. Like, let me see what
Like
people
that.
are on the vibe to, and because it's easy to make a hard boom bap joint that make people do this, scrunch face, or do this,
Hmm.
but you don't really see people really grind or dance, not even like just dance or get into
No,
that
that's
feel.
true. You right. You right about that, Rand.
And I like to say, with that, I was inspired by the No Worries album, like with Anderson .Paak and Knowledge.
Mm.
So I like to say a lot of those beats with that Nas was giving Anderson .Paak kind of helped me create that as well. Like it just created
Damn.
a bop that really want to like just get into that zone and just dance type shit. So yeah, that helped it with that too.
Yeah, you know what? I love that because, like you mentioned, man, like it's nothing wrong with having a good time. I think cats be forgetting that. Like, yo, like the hardest cats love to have a good time. They love to listen to slow tracks or even tracks that's up tempo that make you want to dance and stuff like that, right? So I love that aspect because that's a huge foundation. I think that part is kind of like, okay, if we missing that from the club, like just go out and just have a good time. You see a lot of cats in the club now, they just sitting on the couches. You know what I'm saying? Looking
or just
down
or
on
just
people
or just
like they
looking
Batman.
around and just
Yeah.
scrunch face and all that. And even for myself too is like people know me for like a certain like depending on like if you really listen to what I do,
Mhm,
like some people really put me into depending on certain artists that you know me working with. You know what I
mhm,
mean? Some people put me in the pocket of just doing grimy hip hop boom bap shit, or you could or they know me for the soulful stuff, but they don't really,
mhm.
like I like to I'm versatile with it, so
Yeah.
I like to challenge myself too. Of like, oh, you think I do this? No, I do this also, and I do this, and
Yep.
I do this. So I like to do that for myself. I like to challenge myself with doing different BPMs, different types of sounds, and just listen to other things that's going on to pretty much be a
Yeah.
fan of it and try to create your own.
Yeah, because my favorite beat ran, and I got a lot of favorite beats from you, right? But I gotta say, if I gotta pick one, it's probably I love Still Hope. Still Hope is my joint, man. Still Hope. Oh my goodness, nigga. That's my joint right there, Rand. But Candy, oh my goodness. And like when you listen to Candy, it's everything that you just mentioned, man, because it's like Versa, that's a perfect beat. It makes you happy. Like that's a happy beat, dog. Like you
That's
want
my
to
favorite
clean
beat
your
too.
spot out. You want to
That's
clean
crazy.
your spot out, bro. It's like it puts you like you want to light some incense up. Like, bro, like I had that on repeat. Like when I first, that's how I actually came across Blue from
Wow.
Candy,
Wow.
and that made me want to go back and listen to the catalog, right? And And when I heard that, I sent it to my homies, like, y'all gotta check this shit out, man. And they was up on it ever since then, man. But just listen to that, man, because like you said, people know you for like, the boom bap, the Grammy joints like that, right? But joint like Candy, I could see Erica Badu on that joint. You know what I'm saying? I could see Jill
Wow,
Scott
bro.
on that joint. You feel me?
That's
Like
crazy.
that's a
Wow.
crazy beat, man. I love that joint, bro. So, and that's like my favorite out of your catalog, man. But that just speaks to the versatility, though, and I think that a lot of cats you need versatility. You need
Yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying? Like you need that in your bag of variety, man, because you got different fan base, different people that you don't even know that's checking for your music. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
so man, that's a great point that you mentioned as well. So, um, I definitely want to talk about, man, just like your background, right? Because when we talked last time, we spoke about your background as far as an A&R, man.
Yo,
But I feel like
what was the? How long we have? How long was the
it,
last interview?
I think
Like
it was like around
2020 or
that
20?
2022, I think maybe 2022, maybe around that time frame. Been a minute. It's been a minute. It's been a minute, Red.
Time going by fast,
It's
man.
going
Shit.
by fast, man. It really
Yeah.
is. It's going by
Yeah.
fast, dog. It really is, man. I agree, bro. So it's going by fast, man. And I was thinking about this, Ren, because I feel like, man, with your background in the industry, being an A&R, being executive and stuff behind the scenes, how much does that play a part with you creating these albums, man? Because it sounds crisp, it sounds great, it sounds really good, man. Like the mixing, the engineering, and the cohesiveness, like with each artist. Like, does that play a part as well, man, when it comes to creating that whole album because you got experience working with so many artists, being an A&R and stuff of that nature?
I think it goes a little before that. Like,
Yeah,
so when I like even like when you make your own playlist from back in the day, not even
yeah.
playlists. Like it wasn't even called playlists at that time. But when I was in high school, we would burn CDs. You know, at that
Uh-huh.
era.
Yeah.
And with the LimeWire and Napster and Kazaa, all that
True.
time,
Facts.
I will create my own playlists of the songs that I would like to want to listen to, as if I was like walking down the street. Like create my own soundtrack, like my own
Hmm.
score, like if it was my movie, like if it was a story about my life. This is gonna be the track one, track two, track three, whether it was
Yep.
somebody else's music. So I always had that mindset of cohesiveness from other people's music, of like if it was my movie, like if I was gonna do a movie,
Hmm.
this is gonna be the intro of my movie, or Jay-Z or One in a Million, you know what I mean? Or
Yep.
Nas is like it's track three. So I would put like a bunch of songs, a mixture of stuff, and make it cohesive enough to make it look like if it was my personal movie. So I've
Hmm.
been doing that since I was like 16, 17 years old. So I feel like that plays a part of how I make these albums, because now it's
Hmm.
my own stuff.
Your own.
Um, so I mean, as far as the executive route, or I just saw it for what it was behind the scenes. So like
Hmm.
what's the process like of just create, not even just creating records, but how much work it is with putting a rollout together. So it was more the rollout thing for me that I
Gotcha.
learned, that helped me bring that to what I'm doing now. So if I'm gonna drop an album, I just not gonna just drop the album like as
Yeah.
is. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I'm gonna like give you like piecemeals, and then eventually build off of what we have, from the videos to content of like some cartoon, or like
Yeah.
something in that nature that can build the project to make it feel like it's a full thing, like a whole
Yeah.
rollout. So I like to say the rollout aspect of it taught me, I mean, I learned from being in the office, seeing how the
Hmm.
process is outside of just making music. I mean, depending on what kind of artist you are, to me, music is the easy part. I mean,
Yeah.
as a creative, like making a beat, making sure it sounds good. At this point, as you start to do it, like it's like practicing in the gym. The more you shoot, the more
Yeah.
easy it gets.
Yeah.
Um, so I do this every day. I make shit every day. So the more and test out different things every day. I don't stay stuck or one thing. I like to learn something new.
Yeah.
Whatever's new out there, I like to experiment. So I don't stay stagnant. I like to capture
Yep.
what's going on out there. So the music part is easy. It's just pretty much now like what's the voids?
Yeah.
What's the My two things in life is voids and momentum. Like
Okay.
let's find a void that nobody's really doing, or if they are doing it, let's try to do a different route. Let's go this route.
Yeah.
Let's do this route. but still be authentic with ourselves, depending on the artist I'm working with. You know what I'm saying? So with
Yeah.
Blue's very experimental. He's gonna do different things, and he's gonna test out.
Yeah.
He's gonna test the waters. You know what I mean? He will be considered my J Electronica Andre Three Stacks. You know what I mean? And
It
Doe will
really
be
is.
considered, and Doe will be considered like my Pusha T, Jay Z,
Yo.
Jadakiss. You know what I
Yo.
mean? In that nature. But he's in his own everybody's their own individual. But I like to say that that's the demographic that I'm looking at. So what
Yo.
can we do different that we can grab that demographic that nobody has touched yet?
Yeah,
So
true.
so as far as like the A&R and industry executive route, it's more the rollouts that I learned that
Bro.
part of what I'm doing today. The music, that's been in my blood for, I could say
For
that just
years.
like it was just gifted. You know what I
Corner.
mean?
It
Like
was gifted, yo.
it was just gifted, and just having the ears for it. Like I like to use all these songs as like if it was my movie. You know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna do a movie, this is gonna be the beginning of the movie, the plot. Then the conclusion is gonna be the, you know what I mean? So it's just like and I'm pretty sure we're all movie buffs here. So
Yes.
we
Huge.
a good movie is gonna always start off crazy,
Yeah.
and it's always gonna end crazy, and it has to have
That's
a
true.
meaning behind it. You want to leave out there like, damn, like everything, like I'm like I want to watch it again. I want to tap into, you know what I mean? So yeah, that pretty much played a role.
That makes so much sense, Rand, when you talk about the movie's inspiration, right? How it have a start and a finish, and how it starts off with a bang, right? And also the ending is crazy as well. And what
Yeah,
made me think of was the Painting Houses joint you did with Feed, man, with UFO Feed Part One and Part Two, which
yeah,
it's like it plays out like a movie. Even the
yeah.
cover itself, right? Like it plays out like a movie, like Casino or Goodfellas or something like that, man. Carlito's Way, like that. I felt like I was listening to a movie just with the audio. Like that's
That's
how
dope.
it was, man. And it makes sense now when you put two and two together like that. Even with Aldo with Holy City Zoo, like that
Mm,
puts you on a wild ass ride right there, man. Gonna keep you
yeah,
engaged, like so. Which is happy second year anniversary to that album, by the way. I think it just turned 2 years, right? It
yeah.
just turned 2 years. Crazy,
That's
crazy.
crazy.
So shout out, man. Shout out to Doe, man. And
Yeah,
so I definitely do see that connection with that as well, man. And I want to touch on something, man. You just mentioned earlier with Blue Flow, right? And when you work with certain artists, they have a good flow and get like get in that pocket. And Doe is one of them with the stop and flow. The stop, you got to stop and go, the stop and go flow, which is crazy. And I talked to him about that. I think it was last year when I interviewed Aldo, man. And when I think about people like Tree Mason, and Phoebe as well. Shout out to Phoebe, man. Huge fan of your Phoebe. Like
yeah.
they flow, it just grab you, man. So, like, as a producer, when you hear that, like, does that make the job easier as well? Like, yo, like, able to get into pockets, it
Oh,
feels natural. Like, hearing their flow, it's just that classic golden NY.
yeah. Nah. It's like playing basketball on the court. Like, oh, he came to play. Now, I'm ready. Now I'm
Yeah,
pretty much ready after that. Like I'm ready to go add my pieces to the puzzle. I like to say, with Doe, with Aldo, when he raps and the stuff that he says, it's kind of like tit for tat with me and him.
yeah,
Like he'll do these crazy things, and now add my part. Now add this. Like it's kind of like he'll say this, he'll stop, like the stop and go on flow.
yeah,
He'll stop and go, but then I'll add something in between. So it's kind of like we're playing tit for tat. Like we're like if we're playing basketball, Stock and Malone. It's like he's passing me the ball. Now it's my go. Now I gotta add this, and
yeah,
then he'll go. Then so that's how we really work. Like he
yeah,
does this, he'll stop, and then I'll add my piece, and then when I add my piece, he'll go. So it's like really like a tennis match when we
mhm,
record a song. But it always gets me excited because now I get to experiment. Now I get to try different things because you created this template for myself to now want to make it
yeah,
more of a song and add some sense or add a
mhm,
little vocal note right there or something in that nature. I mean, every artist I ever worked with, they set the tempo depending on who they are. They set the tempo for me to want to get more crazier, as far
Yeah.
as building the song more more crazier. You know what I mean? And I like to say
Hmm.
Holy City Zoo played a big part of that, or created an example of building stuff like as far as like the songs getting crazier and
Yeah.
crazier, crazy. You know what I mean? So that's like a great example of what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And make and making it just become what it is. You know? But yeah, every artist have their special niche
Yeah.
in how they come into play. Like Steve, he writes very fast. I get excited for shit like that, especially when it's
Mhm.
dope. You know,
Yep.
you could write fast and not say much, but if you write fast and you're saying something, now it's like, oh yeah, he came to work. Like
Yeah.
he's ready. He's ready.
Steve,
Like
Steve crazy with it. Steve crazy
yeah.
with it, man.
And that creates a whole nother part of me that make me want to step my game up and be like, all right, he came to work. Now let's knock this out. Like let's go. Like I'm ready to work
Yep.
too. Um, everybody, pretty much
Yeah.
everybody I work with have their like legitimate strengths,
Yeah, they
and
do.
some take their time and really be very very what's the word very niche with how they do their stuff. Like they got to be very intricate. And some just quick, very
Just
quick.
quick with it. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I know you humble. I know you humble, Ren, but I always mention this, man. When I have conversations with my homies, man, or when people ask me like, hey, yo, who's some of your favorite producers? Who's some of the best producers in the game? I always mention you because that
thank you,
sound,
bro.
like I told you, man, doing our first interview a couple years ago. I like when I first heard your sound, man. I had flashbacks of hearing the Infamous for the first time, like hearing Havoc. You know what I'm saying? Like I love that sound, man. It's so great, bro. And you got so many layers in your sound. Like when it comes to your getting your soulful bad, jazzy bad, that grimy sound, man. So I just want to tell you that, Ren. Like you one of the illest with it, man. I know you humble. You know what I'm saying? So I always say that, man. Yourself. Alchemist, Conductor, just Derringer as well. Some of my favorite guys, Hit Boy. But
Yeah.
I feel like, man, you right up there, man. Like you one of my favorite ones. And every time I hear a new project or see a project drop, I'm saying like, I gotta check it out for rent. I gotta check it
Man,
out.
and kudos to you, man, because you always show love and you always
Yeah,
tell me, yo, man, this project is dope, and I appreciate
yeah,
that because that as simple as that, it comes a long way. You know what I mean? For anybody that's creating, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like yo, keep doing your thing, or yo, this project is dope. I'm about to tap in. Like people, I mean, anybody who creates and does who spends time creating anything, they love to hear that. And for speaking for
Hmm.
myself, like you said, I am humble. Like I'm really.
Yeah,
I'm just really more in tunnel vision that I don't really see what I'm doing. I'm just working because I really enjoy doing
yeah,
it. You know what I mean? I'm really in real time. I'm like, I'm just having fun doing it. The only time I really reflect and really listen to like sit back and relax and really listen to everything I do and be like, damn, this shit's type dope. You know what I'm saying? Like not look
yeah,
like not listening to it on some
yeah,
producer. I did this like trying to critique it. Like just really listening to it like a fan. I'll be sometimes like in like low key emotional, like damn, I can't believe I did this. You know what
yeah.
I mean? Because I'm still a fan at this. You know what I mean? And it bugs me out, like because you mentioned Havoc. It bugs me out that like I did a beat set a while back, and I don't really do it that much. You know what I mean? But I
Hmm.
do it every now and then just to get the temperature to see where I'm at with it, to see who's around, who's going to listen, or what I could practice on. You know? And Havoc was just filming me doing my beats. So
That's
Havoc was
that's
there.
crazy.
Havoc wanted to talk to me, and he was like, "Yo, bro, what do you use? This shit is crazy. This shit is
Hmm.
fire. This is like, Havoc and Prodigy. I think about
Havoc.
all that shit. I was like, yo, this shit is crazy. How like your idols is like now knowing who you are. You know what
Who
I
you
mean?
are? Yep.
And like I said, I still come in as a fan, like Juju from the Beat Nuts telling me like, yo, your shit is amazing, like, and Buck Wild, letting me know, like Buck, I know Buck for a minute, but like people
Oh
that like
wow.
are legends, like solidified legends, telling you, yo, you got some shit, you're dope, that X, Y, and Z, or
And
just
Juju
warning
gets
you.
busy. I just want to throw out Juju gets busy from the beat. Though.
course,
I feel like he gets left out. Juju, man, just
of
got Juju's
course.
crazy with it, dog.
Yo, he's one of my favorite producers too. Like, I mean, beat nothing
Yeah,
as a whole. Like, you know what I mean? These
you know,
guys, like,
Psycho Les, him and Psycho,
yeah,
man.
sure. And I never like to throw the like the. I think if you're a dope producer, you're a dope producer. I think
Yeah,
being Latino is dope. But if you're a producer as a whole and you really got some dope shit, it's dope. But
yeah, I agree.
as being Hispanic as well, it's like ain't really much Hispanic producers doing it. So to see a person that
Hmm.
you grew up listening to telling you, "Oh, you're dope," and
Oh,
it kind of hits a nerve. You know what I mean? Like, damn,
yeah.
that shit's crazy. I grew up on this dude. You know what I
Grew
mean?
up,
He's saying
yeah.
I'm dope. So I do it for that. I do it for getting respect for
Hmm.
people I grew up listening to, and even for my peers telling me I'm dope, or vice versa. Like, and like you mentioned, Derringer and all these people. I'm like, these are my peers, and if I see them,
Yeah.
it's all love. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, it's like but with producers is different because it's like a conglomerate thing of like, yo, I can't believe you sampled that. I sampled the same thing. It's
Yep.
like you kind of get more excited off of what they do because it's like kind of like like it's just dope. But like for you to tell me that is like ill because I still come to it as a fan. Like I'm like
Yeah.
shit, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, but it's dope. I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely had to just mention that to you, Ram, man, because your catalog speaks for itself, man. And you so consistent with it, dog. So, like, that sound is really amazing, man. I love that sound, bro, because it's different. Ain't a lot of people, making that type of sound like that, man. And you got a different sound, got a wide range of different melodies, beats, and everything, dog. So I love that, man. And you consistent with it, man. The project that you drop is they all consistent. So I love that, man. And every project you do like artists I ain't never heard of. It made me want to listen to they previous projects as well,
Dope.
man. So I love that, man. And before we end it, man, I definitely want to talk to you, right? Because I see you got the collection in the background, man. What's
Oh
the
yeah,
latest?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep.
What's the latest joints you've been buying, man? Like, what's the latest joints
Let me see.
that caught your eye, man?
Hold on, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Got this joint.
Those
Shocks.
crazy, the shocks, yo, the shocks.
they
Nike,
making
Nike, yo,
they making a
man.
strong comeback.
Yo, they making a strong comeback. Yo, I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like phones is making a. I've always been a fan of phones, but I feel like it's making a comeback to the newer
Yeah,
generation. The newer
I got
generation, I would say that.
these.
Yo, dope. Yo, my brother, he actually got a pair. He was like, yo, those are kicks of the year. You know what I'm saying?
You, you
Like
know,
those
you know,
are,
it's so crazy because I tried to get the purple ones, and
yeah,
I'm like, and I missed out. I could have got them on resale, but now the resale was like,
yeah.
oh, I
The
don't want to
resale
do
is
it. Like,
crazy. Resale is
yeah,
crazy.
I missed out on the Nigels. I was like,
Me
damn, I want to.
too. I missed out
Yeah,
on it.
them Nigels is crazy. I'm gonna eventually get them, but those are ones that I wish I could have been on there a little more because the whole
Yeah,
thing about at least with sneakers for me is like I don't like doing. I'm not doing the line thing. I'm not doing the whole raffle thing. I just can't. It's just
yeah. I
too much.
stopped that. I stopped that too.
Yeah.
I stopped doing that too. Ran a long time ago. Me too.
It's
It's
just like
chaotic.
yeah. It's just like the more you get older, the more less tolerance you have for shit.
For real.
I'd rather just do the I'd rather just pay the resale on StockX. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's not too crazy, or just wait until it goes down a little bit. It's really like a stock market. Like you gotta. I seen the rare airs. Those probably the next ones I'm gonna get. The threes, the
Mhm.
rare air threes. With
Yeah.
I seen them one day. They haven't. I thought they been dropped, but they haven't. I seen them one day, like $160 retail.
Hmm.
And then one day, just one specific day, I went to go check it out again. It was like $600. I was like, "What?" and then the next day, it went back down like hundred and
Yeah.
fifty dollars. I was like, "Yo, this is crazy!" Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just went up that
Wow.
one day. Um, but yeah, the Nigels is probably the next ones I'm gonna get. But the Shocks, it was just like a nostalgic thing for me. Like, I always
Nostalgia,
loved the
man.
colorway, and I had to get it. I wanted to get that, and it's comfortable.
It's
It's more comfort
comfortable.
now at this point.
It really is, man. You know what? And you know what I thought about Blue says he mentioned that I think it was maybe off the Moet, and he was like, "Yo, I'm not even into name brands no more. It's more the fabrics. It's more comfortable. It's the more
Yo,
if you're
straight up.
comfortable with it, right? That's what it is right now. And I'm like that at this level, Rand, like because the last joints I just bought, the last three sneakers I bought recently was sneakers that I always wanted, right? And I missed out on like I got the Michigan Ducks, the high
Nice.
top joints, right? One had to get it, right? I had to get it, man. And then I got the blue toe questions. I had
Mm.
to get the blue toe questions, right? And I just recently just got some Nike Cortez. They all that's in the that should be here soon, but I got some Nike Cortez, they white and red, right?
Oh, I already
With
know
the
what
gump with the gumps got those joints, bro. I had to. And I seen it, I was like, because I was getting my daughter some sneakers, right? I was gonna buy I was getting them the Forrest Gump Cortezes, right? And I
those
seen
are
them. I was
cool.
those crazy too, crazy. So I was like, it's perfect for the summertime. So and I seen them when I was going to different colors. Like, hold on, when these drop? So I
Yeah.
was like, let me get these joints, and I got those for me, man. And but those are the last three joints, and it's now, man. I'm at the point where I'm getting sneakers that I want, that I truly want, man. Maybe the ones that I missed out on and the ones that's comfortable. Like I'm all about being comfortable as I get older now, dog. So
Yeah.
um
It's funny because I've never been like a big fives guy, like a Jordan 5 guy.
yeah,
I like to hang my laces out the sneaker. I don't like to tie, right? But for
yep,
some reason, Jordan 5s, you have to tie them because that
you
tongue is so
have to.
crazy. And I bought the black and I mean the classic ones, the black
The
and white.
classic joint.
Yeah, I bought them, it's funny because back in the day, I feel like I had a pair. I always saw them in black laces, but if for some reason them white laces make more sense now and it pops.
Yep.
Think it's so crazy. But they're uncomfortable. It's more of the story. Those are classic sneakers, but they're
They
fucking.
are
They're
uncomfortable.
really they're really uncomfortable. But
They are uncomfortable, Rand. They are.
I like to say too, if I couldn't get them back then, I try to get them now. Like
Now,
I bought the royal blue foams, and when you say the foams is coming
yeah,
back,
phones,
I
man.
will only do it with like classic foams, like the
Facts.
obviously the royal blue and clear bottom is the classic ones. You know what I mean? The
Classic
classic.
ones.
But I'm doing the Air Force Ones, now. Like so, can't
Yo,
go wrong with that.
Rand. Rand, I wasn't a huge Air Force One fan growing up, right? I was more on the Dunks and SBs, like
Yeah, yeah.
huge Dunk and SB fan, right? So I wasn't like a huge Air Force One fan. Always respected the sneaker. As I got older, Rand, my Air Force One collection is crazy now. Like, cause that's the perfect sneaker. Like, that's the perfect sneaker. And I remember hearing the late great DJ Clark Kent, rest in peace to the legend, man. And he was saying this is like the greatest sneaker. And when I feel like you could wear it with anything. It goes with anything, dog. Like
Sure,
informal. You
for
wearing some
sure.
hoop shorts with a white tee. Like I've been buying Air Force Ones a lot within the past, really since 2020.
Okay.
And man, and the lows. I bought some. I even bought some some high top joints too.
Nah, yo,
I
listen.
got some high top joints as well.
I think 2 years ago I went on the Air Force lows crazy. I started
Yeah.
buying like all white with this with different color checks. Like I got the
Hmm.
orange, I got the green, I got the yellow, blue. I just went
Yep.
crazy. Just like let me buy every colorway, all white, but just the different color checks.
Yep.
And they pop. I mean,
They
summertime
pop,
they're
dog.
meant for that.
Summertime.
Yeah,
Woo.
and
Summertime.
it is a perfect sneaker. My favorite sneaker of all time is the threes. You know what I mean? The
Mine
Jordan
too. My favorite.
cements, the cements.
The black and cement threes is my favorite.
That's it. The only thing is, I like the 2018 better
The
than
20,
the new one.
I got the 2018 joints, and they feel so good, and they still durable. Like mine is still holding up. They're not
Yeah.
cracking,
Yep.
nothing like that. I love the 2018s, bro. Like that's a sneaker. I'll be having to catch myself, ran like, damn, maybe I should wear it much as I wear it, but it's my favorite sneaker though. Like I'm gonna wear that sneaker out, dog. So I
Nah,
love
that's
the
a great.
2018 joints, man. That those are probably my favorite ones. Like far as the quality, far as with the model, in my opinion. My opinion, that's mine too as well.
Oh, and going back to what you say about Air Force, you could kind of wear those anywhere too. You could go
Facts.
anywhere with those sneakers. Um,
You can.
the only thing about the 2018 is the leather is way more better to me than the ones that just dropped this year. I
Right.
mean, was it this
Yeah.
year or last year? Yeah, this year. They were cool. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I still got them for just having seen the
You just
difference, but
yeah,
the 2018 just it feels more better. It
it
looks
does.
more better. It's more durable. And just the leather looks more quality. But yeah, there's a lot of sneakers, man. I got a lot of sneakers. I could show you for days, man. But like, yeah, though the most recent pickup was the Shocks.
Shots.
What else? I'll be loving this. I mean, I show you the kids, the immigrant ones, but I
Yeah,
just
the
be loving.
kids
I just be
immigrant.
loving. I just be loving the Saunders in general. Like, I haven't seen these since like '99. Like,
Yeah, yo. And the colorway for those joints though, man, like it's
yeah,
crazy. It's gonna pop in the summertime, dog. Like
yeah, for sure.
and
And
they
they comfortable.
comfortable. They
Yeah,
comfortable. They
and,
comfortable, dog.
and they comfortable, man. And yeah, shit. What else I got? Well, I mean, I got a lot of shit. I'm just trying to figure out the most recent. Um. Oh, so I bought these on StockX, but this is like the nostalgia of me thinking that these were gonna sell out quick.
Oh
Olive
man,
nine.
the olive nines.
Yeah. So let me tell you something. This is how you kind of can tell you. This is how I knew I was like I'm getting older now because
Yeah,
I bought these shits on some. I'm gonna buy them. I don't care how much they cost because it's just the
yep,
nostalgia feel of it. I
yep.
bought them on StockX. I ain't paid too much over StockX, but I paid over retail, right? And I paid it probably like the day it dropped. The next day, I go downtown around the Soho area in New York. I went to the Nike store with my
Mhm.
wife, and she sees her pair. She sees the olive nines, like in female size, and she's like, "Damn, I want these." I was like, "You want them?" I got you, no problem. I bought her the pair, but it was so quick. So I was like, "Damn, these just came out." I was like, "Let me go upstairs real quick at the men's sizes real quick." And I was like, "Yo," I was like, "Yo." I was like, "How many?" I was like, "How much? Y'all got a size 10 or 9.5?" He was like, "Yeah, we got both sizes." I was like, "What?" And they were like on retail,
Yeah,
retail. I just finished paying. I just paid resale the day before, so I was
yeah. I'd have
sick.
been
Like I was
hurt.
like, damn, I could have got. And I have to wait in the mail for these like in another week and a half, where I could have just had them on hand right there and then. But I'm like, damn, I thought they were gonna sell out just for the simple fact that that's a
Yeah,
classic
facts.
sneaker. But it's kind of like the Wu Tang Dunks, right? Like that was like a grail,
Hmm.
and you see it now, it kind of
It
kills the
kills
credit now
it.
because it's like I like it, but I don't because it kind of kills the whole aesthetic behind it. You know what I mean? Galaxy phones, like this shit, like
It
it's like
does, man.
you know what I mean? They're doing
Yo,
that.
Galaxy phones feel like they came and went. I feel like they came and went when they retro them, and when they first dropped, that sneaker was one of, if not the biggest sneaker at the time. Like people was so it was a
The
person
resale,
sold a car for that sneaker. Like I mean,
yeah, remember that?
Nike had to cancel the official release because it was just crazy. And now when they drop, it's like it don't hit the same now, man. You know what I'm saying? Like at one point, it was out of the park.
My thing is, do you feel like it's gonna be like that with the undefeated fours?
I do feel like they still. I feel like they're gonna have a buzz, but it's not gonna be like how it once was because this generation wasn't really. They wasn't around during that time frame, and
Right.
blogs was popping back then. So you had Nike Talk, you had Soul Collector, you had those forums, you had word of mouth, and now it's so much stuff that's out there. I feel like it's gonna get lost. I feel like it's still like the people who remember when that sneaker dropped. I feel like they're gonna get it for its nostalgia reasons. But then you got another half that's kind of like, I'm past that now. Or you got the younger generation, like, okay, I ain't rocking with it. I think what it would take, Rand, if they see someone like a Travis Scott with them.
Yeah,
and they go
yeah, I
crazy.
agree. Could- Yeah, because you see how he was with the dunks, like
Dunk-
different, like OG dunks, and people was like, actually, I believe the price was going crazy, like
Yo,
skyrocket
the
after he
price
won.
went crazy for the Michigan dunks. And I was like, damn, I've been waiting for them to drop. I was like, yo, man, come on, dog. Like, people was wearing them, the low top joints, the high top. I was like, hold on. It wasn't like this when they first dropped. And
Right. He
yeah,
uh he was the Hannigan dunks, them shits. I mean, they're grail, but I think that I overheard. I feel like they're gonna drop those soon. They're gonna drop a lot of
yeah,
grails, man, and the Wu Tang dunks I kind of knew already that they wasn't gonna do
yeah,
much because Wu Tang is like it's like our
yep.
generation. I mean, these kids have no idea
No,
who Wu Tang
none,
is,
none.
and so it kind of shows where the demographic is at, and like you said, like they have to see somebody
New,
new in this world that in hip hop or just entertainment that's going to bring it to the forefront, and I'm curious on that, like what's the sneaker now that kids is going to really go out and
go out and
chase.
check
You know what I mean? I feel like the Naja Sylvesters is probably the closest
closest
I've seen
ones.
people really. But his rollout was crazy
Great,
also.
great rollout. Story, even going back to the last joints he dropped, the storytelling, the rollout is dope,
Yeah,
man. Like with this one's great. I love how he brought Loaded Lugs, he brought Mook. I
yeah,
mean, he brought the consumer into his world and where he was from. He brought him into New York. Like
yeah.
I love that aspect, and I think another brand that does that is Awake NY, with their collaborations with Jordan Brand as
Mhm.
well. They does the same thing with their storytelling, which is really great. Um, I do love this sneaker, the Saucony joints, the ones with J tips. I love you, but I'm
They
busy.
tips.
He been getting busy. The bronze representative. He been getting busy with his joints.
Yo, it's so dope to see his come up because I remember him
Yeah,
rapping.
yo, me too. That's how
Like
I first found out about him rapping as well, man.
he 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 used to he used to be in showcases. I don't like to say showcases. He used to do
Hmm.
shows in like Webster Hall in New York or different venues. Like there used to be a lot more venues like in the blog
Hmm.
era, like around like 2012, 2013, 2014, 15. And he used to do he used to be doing shows with like early Dave East
Hmm.
and a lot of guys in they come up during that time, like around the ASAP Rocky, ASAP Mob coming
Hmm.
up phase. Not they like wasn't really as big pro era
Yep.
early. So to see him where he's at now, and he always been into sneakers from the outside looking in, seeing how he did it. He used to resell
Yep.
sneakers, but he always added the sneaker aspect of being a sneakerhead into his music
He sure
early on.
did.
But I definitely remember him rapping, doing these shows, and then to see his trajectory just become a
Yeah,
influencer and people going all out for his sneakers, and he got some
that's some
dope
dope
shit.
joints, man. Some dope joints.
Um, it's dope to see that. I love to see people's early beginnings or early come ups and just seeing it slowly build up from the outside looking in. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of people like that I see coming up. But him to see his
Me
sneaker
too.
route go,
It's great
nah, it's
because
dope.
that's how I discovered
And
him too.
I think him, Fresh Joe
Fresh
Fresh
goods,
Goods,
yeah, Joe Fresh goods.
who else? Who else is doing it? I've been liking. I always butcher the name. Amir Leon. The New Balances that they be doing.
No, I butchered the name too. I know Leon is up. Yeah, I butchered the joint too. They crazy as well. Like just his brand, right? And the New Balances. I feel like Joe Freshgood and himself kind of really New Balance have been though. They've been popping on the East Coast. I know like DC, if I'm not mistaken, DC is really big with New Balances. But now, like the whole world, like people, I stay in Tennessee, right, Rand. So I'll be seeing people like in Nashville wearing New Balances, the 550s and stuff like that, the 990s. Like even my wife was like, "Can I get the? I think it was a 2002 ZR joint." She's like, "Can I get those?" And I was like, "Okay, like you own New Balances now." So they've been doing their thing, man. They've been doing their thing, and that collaboration is crazy with New Balance. Crazy.
yeah, nah. Even with Saucony,
Saucony,
like Saucony, New Balance, I mean, actually Bronson's joints is
New Balance.
crazy.
Westside Gun got a joint coming out with Saucony. So
Yeah, I'm interested to see how
me
that's gonna
too.
look. I mean, the sample pair I
It
seen
look
it look
dope.
dope. I mean, I would love to see like the
Me
outcome
too.
of how it's gonna look afterwards. Yeah, it's a lot of dope stuff. I mean, as far as sneakers go, I mean, the hype is. I mean, depending on what's out there, the hype is not how it used to
Yeah.
be before, but they still the rollouts behind certain things with social media playing a big part. The commercials that they got on social media or even on the internet is dope. I love the way J Tips rollout
Yeah.
was. I love the way. I mean, J Tips did a rollout in Fashion Week, I
Yep.
believe. It wasn't even like a rollout. He would just show the sneaker on IG and it just became a
Whole
whole thing.
thing.
So but it's dope. I mean, Nigel Sylvester, the kids are
Yep.
immigrants. It's a bunch of stuff that I see that the Awake, and the dope thing about Awake is that they evolve the
Yeah, they
community a
do.
lot. So they do the block parties and they'll have like these big events outside that everybody can really just
Yep.
come through and kick it. And in the same time, they're promoting what they
Okay.
have or what he has. So it's dope. You know what I mean? I seen Ronnie Feig did the New
Yeah,
Balances recently.
Ronnie, yeah.
And that was dope to see what it was. So it's always interesting. I'm always interested to see
Me too.
what's new out there and try to grab what I
Yep.
like. And all same thing with comfort. Also, it's more comfort and nostalgia for
Yep.
me
Me
now. You know
too.
what I mean? Like what did I grow up not having, or what did I haven't had in a long time that they're
Same
bringing back
here.
out?
Same here.
Yeah.
Yo,
So yeah,
that plays a big part, man. And I'm like, yo, man, I was like, that's something that I've been buying. Like I've been buying a lot of Nike Air Trainer ones, the Bo Jacksons, the
yeah,
SC
yeah,
trainers came back out. And I was like, that's another one I gotta get as well, just for nostalgia moments. It's it's Arbor colorway, but it's Nick colorway. Like that's a New York shoe. I feel like
yeah.
that's a New York shoe, man. I had a homie. He went to Rock the Bells. Red. It was Rock the Bells concert. I think it was last year or 2 years ago because they came out 2 years ago, and he was like, everyone had them joints on. He was like, I seen cats with them on with a Mets jersey. You know what I'm saying? He was like, that's a New York sneaker. Them Bo Jacksons, the orange joints. He was like, that's
Oh
a
yeah,
New York sneaker, the SC trainers.
sure.
And that's a sneaker I gotta get. They dropped them again this year, just recently. And I was like, that's something I gotta get just for nostalgia reasons, though. Like that's it.
Yeah, same thing with the
Oh,
Dion. Same thing with the
Peons, you
Dions.
right.
I haven't seen those sneakers since '93, '94. And I got a class picture with them on. So
Yep.
it's like I got to find it, but I just remember those sneakers and how they were. And when I saw them back out, just created a whole time warp for
Yep.
me of just like, damn, I got to get these joints too. But yeah, man, there's a lot of dope stuff. And I like the fact that Nike's paying attention to what the needs is
Yep.
out there and they bring it back. The only thing I want Nike to do is like kind of like bring back the old feel of rollouts of like their commercials or even magazines. You remember
Yeah, I
when
remember
when
that.
the had the phone number in the back in the
Yo,
bottom.
that was
I mean,
crazy.
stuff like something dope like that makes you want to buy
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? Or you don't even see commercials with athletes anymore with the sneaker. You remember when Lil
Yeah, that was
Penny every time he promoted Spike Lee with Michael Jordan when we promote sneakers like with Mark, you know what I mean? So like you don't get that at all with
no, I
athletes or
don't.
even with just entertainment as a whole. So I miss that feel.
I
I
do
wish they
miss
could
that. I
bring
miss
that.
that too, Rand. I think the only person I see that does that is Anthony Edwards and Adidas. And I'm like,
Yeah,
he's the one, like, even with his sneaker when it dropped the AE ones. And when I seen him, I was like, yo, man, I like these joints. But what made me like it more, Rand, was the rollout. And I think like a lot of brands forget like the marketing and the rollout, that's the key. That's the key. The storytelling. Like if you can make it
yeah,
intriguing and engaging to the eye, your mind will believe it. Like, okay, I keep seeing it. It's a good rollout. The sneaker might not even be that dope, but just as long as the rollout is dope, gonna make people want to get the sneaker. So
sure.
I think that's really dope, man. I really love that. So I think I know it's another rollout. I've been seeing Nike. It's a Nike GT. Wale been wearing them a lot, and like
Oh yeah, Yeah, that's it's like I thought at one point it looked
I
like his
thought it
own
was
signature.
a
They
signature
should give
sneaker.
they
They
should
should
give
give
him
him a signature sneaker.
they
They
should give
should.
him
They
they should.
should, man. I feel like he's a big reason between the Anthony Edwards joints.
Oh,
Like even Anthony Edwards gave him his props on it. Like yo, Wale was
yeah,
the first
you're
dude
right.
he
You're
seen wearing
absolutely
them
right.
like that. And Nike go ahead and just give Wale his own signature sneaker, I think, or Adidas, one of the
I
two.
mean, they gave PJ Tucker his own
You're
little
right.
his own sneaker. They might as well give Wale a joint. Wale could really. I feel like he could be a he could do what
Yep.
Clark did. I feel like he could make a silhouette into his own
Sure
colorway
can.
and make
He
it
sure
dope.
can.
Um, he could definitely be one of them that I feel like he could do. And he's an entertainer. And he wears them. He
Yeah.
wears them. He performs in them, and he rocks them
Yeah.
right. Like it makes you so. You know what I mean? I'm interested to see what that comes about. It kind of look like a phone posit mixed with a
It
flight
does.
posit
It
together.
does, man. They do look like
Um,
that.
but yeah, you know what I mean. I'm interested to see how did they even say when they're gonna
I,
drop
I
those sneakers at
I
all?
haven't
Like
heard no release date, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't heard no release date. I just be seeing just Wale wearing them in
different
different
colorways, right? Yeah.
colorways,
So I
man.
think
Different colorways, and it sparked that buzz, that reaction.
yeah. So I see. So that's probably
That's
the
part of the
rollout.
rollout.
Give it to Wale.
Get Wale.
Give it to
Yo,
Wale. He'll
and
figure it
he
out.
working on new music as well. Might as well just use that when it comes to
Yeah,
his album as well. That's
sure,
just more promotion. That's what I would do. Just roll out
sure.
and once like, yo, Nike. They already used them for a phone posit ad for the cherry joints, for the joints they did for DC. Use them for, hey, that
That
was
was dope
dope.
too. Yeah, yeah. I feel like that went under the radar, but I
Yeah,
like
the
the
rollout
rollout
was
behind it.
dope, man. The rollout was dope. I even like the colorway, man. So I think, man, just
Yeah,
go ahead and give Wale his flowers, give him his sneaker, man. He deserves it, man. So I would love to see that, man.
yeah.
I would love to see that for real. Yeah,
I got a
yeah.
question for you. If they gave you a signature sneaker, what sneaker will you choose to
Ooh, a
design?
signature sneaker, man. It's tough, man. I probably would say the threes, the Jordan threes. I would say the Jordan threes.
Like,
That will be my choice right there, the Jordan
give-
threes, man. If I had if they'll say, hey, pick a sneaker, that would be one of those. That would be one of those joints, man.
well, so I got a
Yeah.
curveball now. Will you make it a GR or will you make it a PE?
Ooh. You know what? To be real, Ran, I would make it a PE. I would make it like a. I would make it a limited release.
Okay, yeah, no,
I'll make
that's
it a
dope because it creates more
more.
bite.
You right, more buy. I would make it a limited release, for real. A certain amount, create the buzz. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Be like this. Be like the pigeon ducks. Be like the pigeon ducks.
Yeah,
That's that's,
no,
that's
that's
what I would
crazy.
do.
I feel like that was the first sneaker to really create this whole
Yeah.
hype because people were going crazy. I had to explain that to my wife. He just opened a store, the Staples Pigeon
Uh,
store in 21 in Mercer where Nike
yeah.
used to be at. He just opened a store there. He had an event there, and me and my wife go out there, and I was explaining to her. I'm like, because in hindsight, just thinking about it, because he has like pigeons
Mhm.
all over the store, and then the colorway kind of looks like. I think he does. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. I think he has the Nike Dunks in like in the
Yeah.
frame, or he has something in that same colorway. And I was like, it reminded me. I was like, wait a minute. I feel no. I'm sorry. He has the news article. He has the news article in the store of how it was that day
Yeah.
he dropped. Because I remember it was in the front page of how the sneaker hype was that crazy. People waiting
Yeah.
online and how much it cost and everything. And the resale. And that was like 2007, I think. And I remember that. And I told my wife, I'm like, not for nothing. This sneaker is probably the main reason that everybody's
Oh,
reselling now. Like this is like the first
first.
overly hyped
You're
sneaker.
right. That's the first sneaker I seen with that type of reaction. You right about that, Rand, where the news captured it, where it just became like it became like an urban myth after that because you couldn't find it nowhere. You couldn't find it nowhere.
Nowhere.
Then when he dropped the follow up to it, the buzz was still there after all those years. Like
Yeah.
It's crazy,
Yeah.
man. I actually met Jeff Staple. Ran. It was 2000 and it wasn't 24. It was the end of 2023. He came to Nashville for an event. It was him and Bun B. Shout out to my man Joe Rilla and Fat Cap. They put the event together and they invited me
Oh,
out there, man. And yo, man, and it was his book, man. And great book by the way, man. But just yo, like he a real cool dude too, man. Like down to earth, dog. So man got so much knowledge, bro. I didn't even know like he had it started with music as well, like him designing stuff. So I didn't even know that, but yeah, man, those pigeon dunks, that's gonna go down
game changer.
in the Hall of Fame.
Game changer.
Game changer. You right.
I feel like it's stuff. It was that, and then it just became like remember that phase of where Concords became a
Yes.
thing, like a real like people going crazy off of Concords because they were dropping once a
We are
year,
once a
right?
year,
Like every seasonal,
every Christmas season they were dropping,
every
man.
year,
And cats was
yeah,
losing their minds. Like it didn't matter. It didn't even matter what colorway. It was just like, yo, man.
yeah. Yeah, I remember they were doing the seasonal thing.
Yeah.
Then after that, I believe it was that. And what was the other thing? And then the Galaxies, then the Yeezys, and then it just became foams and foams and foams, and then it just became a whole
Domino
domino effect
effect.
of just yeah, of
Just
just reselling
reselling.
after that. But I mean, no, it is what it is. But everybody has every sneaker has
Yes,
its
it does.
phase. Everybody has their at this point in life, where as we talked about, it's
It's
all
all
about
about
comfort and
that.
classic.
It's all about that.
Comfort and classics.
That's
That's
all I be
it. You know what
looking
I
at.
mean?
That's how I look. That's the bigger picture, though. It's like, okay, how can I? How can this sneaker be more comfortable, dog? Like that's what I'm looking at, dog. I ain't trying to be in pain. Like I was talking to my homie, we was talking about the steel tens. I was like, bro, I got multiple pairs of tens, and those joints is uncomfortable to me. I was like, bro, my
Wait,
pinky toe
not the
be
fours.
in hell. My pinky toe be in hell. I'll be like, yo, I gotta let those
Yeah.
go. Like you can have them. I was like, I gotta let those steel tens go, man, because nah, bro.
Yo, the fours are
Fours
uncomfortable.
is uncomfortable. That's one of my favorite sneakers.
One of same, but it's just something about like that little slot with the
Yes,
shoelace, that little. Oh man, it just creates like the same thing with the pinky toe. It
the
always bothers
bottoms.
like my right pinky. After a while, I was like, yo,
I
I
can't do
can't
it.
do
That's
this
how
no
yo
more,
the
man.
fives. Like I wore my grapes ran. I went to Mississippi to visit my family a couple weeks ago, and
Okay.
I put them joints on, man, and I didn't really just realize that. I was like, these is so damn uncomfortable. Like my damn like the like the middle part of my foot, like they felt super tight. Like I was like, why they
Yeah,
feeling this
yeah,
damn tight?
yeah.
I started drinking some
Hmm.
Hennessy. I forgot about it. But if I'm so
You're not the only one.
yo,
You're
and
not
I'm
the only one.
like, damn, like yo, like I was trying to loosen them up. Like yo, I don't remember them being this damn uncomfortable, and they were so damn uncomfortable, dog. And I was like, yo, the five, shit,
So being from Tennessee and then even going to Mississippi, have you ever asked people like, what's the sneakers that people really gravitate to out there? Because every demographic is different.
yo,
Like, yeah, you mentioned DC's New Balance foam posits, and New York Air Force Ones, phone. I mean, not much phones, but
yeah,
Jordans per se. You know what I mean? Nobody. It's more mixture
mm-hmm.
now. But before there was like a certain demographic that we only catered to one sneaker. Obviously with Tim's
Yep.
for us, you know what I'm saying? Like, have you ever like noted like when you go to different areas, do you ever pay attention to what people are wearing the most out there as far as sneakers go?
Yo, so yeah, so shit is out, Rand. I actually was working on a documentary a couple years ago, man, about just the sneaker culture in Nashville. Cause I wanted the same thing as well, man, because I was raised in Tennessee. I was born in Flint, Michigan. So my siblings is much older than I am. So it's like up there, it's like they had their own identity up in Michigan. Like, so they got their own identity in Flint and Detroit. It's fly stuff, right?
Yeah.
So and one of the questions in the documentary that I was working on was like, what's the signature sneaker down here in Nashville? Like New York you know, Tim's, they got Wallabies, they got Forces, they got You know what I'm saying? Like they got that signature sneaker, right? You
Yeah.
know, what do we got? And one of my homies, man, shout out to the homie Band Play, he a producer as well. Shout out to Band Play, man. He was like Air Maxes. He was like, man, we call them the dope runners, like out here in Tennessee. So Air
Word.
Maxes,
Which
the
one?
95s, the 95. So
Oh,
they are
classic.
known as the dope runners out there in that.
Oh,
So
yes,
like,
sir.
and I had asked other people as well, and they was like, "Man, we don't got no signature sneaker." But then I had asked some more people, that it was like Air Maxes, right? Air Maxes 95. But if I had to pick a sneaker, right, like that's gonna drop and sell out, I probably would have to say the 13s, the Air Jordan 13s, um, the 11s, right? And far as just everyday sneaker, I will say Air Maxes, Air Max 95. The 95s is pretty big out in the middle of Tennessee. We do get, the Reebok Classics. They was big. That's like a staple too throughout the South. New Orleans really
Yeah,
popularized
yeah.
that.
New
Yeah, New
Orleans for
Orleans for
sure. For
sure.
sure, New
But
Orleans.
the
Yeah.
the Reebok Classics with the gum sole, that's a big one as well. But to be honest,
Word.
man,
Oh,
it's really like a variety of different sneakers out here in Nashville. You know what I'm saying? Mississippi,
right.
that's a whole different story right there, Rand. Like cat, like yo, shout out to Tunica, shout out to Mississippi, but them cats is wearing dress shoes with jeans out there, bro. Like, yeah, it's a different world, bro. Bro,
Really?
is this different out there in Tunica, dog? So and what was big in Tunica at one point was fakes. Face was really big, and it's crazy because they're not that far from Memphis. Memphis got the Nike warehouse, but Tunica didn't really have stores, right? So you had to travel like to the major cities in Mississippi and stuff, or go to like Memphis. But Face was really big at one point down there. Now they got like I think they got like a Hibbets down there, if I'm not mistaken, right? So
Right.
forces, if I had to pick one sneaker, I'd say Air Force Ones. My cousin, he wear nothing but Air Force Ones. But yeah, like at one point, nigga face was going crazy. Like around
Crazy.
2007 to 2012, 13, they had a store in Memphis called On Third. And my cousin, I was like, yo, man, is there any stores out here I could get fly in? You know what I'm saying? Like this was my senior year in high school. I was going to college, and I was like, he was like, yeah, cuz I got you. He was like, on third. Nigga, it was a flea market. Nigga, they outside. Yo, Red, they outside. It's outside. It was muddy. It just got done raining. They selling everything knockoff LRG. This is when LRG was popping. They
Oh
had
shit.
the Black Album forces. I'm like, hold on, bro. Like for
Yo, that's
$50 for
crazy.
40, 50. I'm like, yo, man. My cousin was like, man, God done blessed us with on third. He like, they done blessed us, man. I was like,
Yeah.
nah, bro, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
looking at my soul, I was like, nah, bro. But yeah, it's really it's nothing out there in Tunica really far as like the sneakers and stuff. The sneaker culture is like it's foreign out there to them. It really is. And when it comes to Nashville, it is more stores being built in Nashville. I will say that it's like more sneaker stores,
Right,
man. You got Rooted, shout out to Rooted. You got my people at 615 kicks, man. So it's a lot of different people. It's like feel like it's like a new store, a new sneaker store I see almost every day in the middle Tennessee area, Nashville, Franklin. But yeah, man, it's that's something that I have those conversations with my homies like about like what's the sneaker identity. It is a sneaker culture out here. It just find that identity, in my opinion, that identity, like, okay,
right,
this is
right,
the sneaker for us. You know what I'm saying? Or this is the style we rocking with. So I don't really see that as yet, but I do see more of people trying to brand that culture here to Nashville. You know what I'm saying? People that's
right.
moving from different places and coming here and trying to brand that here to Nashville. So I will say that, man. So, but that's a question though, Rand, that I've been like. So that the documentary, I need to finish that actually, but that's one of the questions that we
Oh,
asked.
I would love to see
Yeah.
that. I would love to see that. You know what would be dope too? Like even outside like just Nashville, how about like every demographic in the
Yeah.
states ask people what they wear. Like you know how like, I mean, this is just like in
Mhm.
hindsight, like if just like a train of thought. Like you know how we always look at Cali as like the Cortez Chucker
Facts.
state, but what influenced that? Like what made that sneaker the staple for that
Hmm.
state or that whole LA scene? You know what I'm saying? And I went to I be going to Philly every now and then, and I look at Philly as like they got their own signature as far as like New
Yep.
Balances. They wear a bunch of New Balances, and even clothes wise,
Yep.
they wear Dickies and DC they wear their phone
Phone pauses.
pauses
Crazy.
and you know what I'm saying, New Balances, New York. It's the same thing with Tim's. I'm always intrigued when I go to different states of like the
Me
slang
too.
mixed with like with the mixed with the sneaker
Yep.
culture. Like if you go to Chicago, obviously it's
Jordan
Jordan
and base
base heavy
heavy.
because Chicago. You
Chicago.
know what I mean? Detroit. It could be like, and it's always interesting to me too because like even with certain Jordans, there's certain states that don't wear certain numbers of
Yep.
Jordans, right? Like so you may have Detroit, like you said, wearing 13s, wearing 10s, wearing 11s, wearing
Yep.
8s. You know what I mean? And then I mean, you'll go to New York, you'll see mostly people wearing ones,
Hmm.
fours, threes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a
Yeah.
five every now and then, maybe a 11, but you don't really see as much as eights or tens and 13s like
Hmm.
that. You know what I mean? Which is, I'm just thinking more in
Yep.
hindsight. If I really pay attention, like I'm just going by where I see the most, and I see a lot of runners like New
New
Balances,
Balances.
and because obviously the comfy is in now, from New Balances to Sauconys to even the Sambas with
Yo,
Adidas. You know what I'm
Sambas
saying?
is. Woo. I just bought my daughter some Sambas as well. Two pair of Sambas.
But you see,
Yep.
but that's like that. But I'm always like if I go to Miami, I look at a lot of people wearing like some
Mhm.
Jordans that's like 13s, uh, Air Force Ones, and maybe occasional three here and there. But I would love to do that, like go to different stations
That
and
would
see
be
what's
dope.
out.
That would be dope, man. I love that. I love that. That would be crazy. That's a dope idea. I'm saying that, man. For real.
But even I mean, like even for
Yeah.
yourself, because you're already doing it, man. Like I that's why I asked that question. Like I'm like, damn, you've been to Mississippi. I never been to Mississippi, and I never been to Nashville. So I'm intrigued from
Yeah.
your eyes or your POV of like from what you see in that culture, like what do they wear? What's this? I mean, even with the slang, like what's the slang like? Like, cause it's like kind of like looking at it from an outside looking in point of view.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And I love stuff like that. You're taking me to your
Yep.
world. You're taking me to what it is out there. You know what I mean? And I live off of that. Like when I went to Chicago a couple of times, and when I go to Chicago, or when I've been to Chicago, I always pay attention to
Yep.
what people are wearing, what's the slang out there, vice versa. Baltimore, um, Detroit, you know, and you always hear from other people or and I love this. There's this page on Twitter that they go by like the top fashion of states and what pretty much would
Hmm.
influence that fashion or what's the fashion from the 90s. So like you'll get Chicago, you'll get Detroit, you'll get a DC, you'll get a Philly, you'll get a New York, but you see the fashion of what they're wearing. So if you see Detroit, obviously you
Yeah.
think of Gators, Cartier,
Yes.
mink coats,
Even
Coogis.
Pelly's.
And this is
Even
the
Pelly's.
90s, you know.
Yeah.
Pellis,
Pelly's as
exactly. You know
well.
what I mean?
Yep.
Moschino. I mean,
Yep.
like Maurice Malone,
Maurice
like shit, like
Malone.
damn,
Yep. I
like
was thinking about that. Maurice
you know
Malone.
what I mean? Like so, so I be more like I'm like as a fan of that's culture to me. I like to look at
Yep.
people's POV of where they around their surroundings. What is it about Tennessee that y'all do out here that from a person who's New York who never been there, what can you describe
Yeah.
Tennessee from the fashion to the slang to the sneakers that they wear? Because as a person, there's probably more people like me, but I love to hear that. Like, oh, that's dope. Because I never been there, but now
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But when I do know, I could be
Yeah. You
tapped
can
in
tap
already. Like,
in.
all right, this is their slang. Yeah, this is their slang. This is the shit they like to listen to. Like, you know what I mean? Because the way we grew up listening to hip hop, I don't want to be long winded, but the way we grew up listening to hip hop, we got from different
Yep.
regions, It wasn't just
It
one
wasn't just
demographic.
one.
We had New York, we had Cleveland, we had LA, we had Texas, we had Miami, we had North Carolina, we had, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then later on we had Tennessee. I mean, not even later on. We had Tennessee with 3-6. Then you had David Banner in Mississippi. Then you had, you know what I mean? So
Different
different portions
portions.
from different areas. Same thing with Nelly and
St.
St.
Louis.
Louis. It was like, what the hell was this? This is their slang,
Yep.
you know what I mean? Like, and it puts you into their world, and then now you intrigue, and now
Now you
you're
want to know
invested because now
more.
you feel
Yeah,
like
you want to
you're
know
there,
more, man.
right? You
And
want to
that's
know
something
more,
that's very dope, man, because having those conversations with my homies, man, and people that's in the city, and I be like, yo, man, like what's the identity? Not even just, because all that is goes into one sneakers and hip hop, right? And like, cause there's a lot of dope artists out here in Nashville. It's like, okay, who's gonna be that next one that just take that baton and just, what I'm
right?
saying, take off. Because it's a mixture of dope guys, of dope people. I think just bringing that out. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that was like one of my big reasons of making Yo It's the Kicks, right? Because when we first started in 17, it's like I want to shine a spotlight on the Nashville culture. So I was going to different stores. And when the pandemic happened, that's when I transitioned just to, online and Instagram and stuff like that. But that's something that's always I'll be asking those questions, Rand, because I was like, more people need to know about, okay, what's going on in Nashville. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to everything, right? The food, the restaurants, why we rock this, why people
Yeah,
speak
yeah.
like, a certain way, a certain, accent and stuff like that, man. When I was in, where did I go to, Rand? It was I want to say Houston.
Okay.
Houston, man. I went to Houston a couple of years ago, and I was like, damn, like Jordans is everywhere in Houston, dog. Like, and I did my research. I was like, yo, they like the biggest state. Like when it comes to Jordans, they wear the most Jordans. Like they purchase the most Jordans. It is, man.
Yeah.
And when I look at Memphis, Memphis is a fly area because they got the Nike warehouse. So when it comes to like pennies is huge up there because Penny from Memphis. Any of the pennies, the
Shit, I
phones
forgot.
is huge.
Wow. Yeah,
So when you think about like spots in the South, and I think Memphis gets overlooked. I think people point to Atlanta, they point to even Miami, but Memphis is one of the flyest cities, I've been to, man. Like I got cousins in Memphis. Like they always been fly. They have their own style, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, for
Cause
sure.
it's like that southern style, but it's dope. It's fly, man. So like a lot of retro Nikes, like 90s Nike basketball shoes is big in Memphis. Then you got Jordans. Jordans is big, but a lot of Nike shit. That's a Nike town.
Yeah.
It's nothing but Nikes in Memphis. Nothing but Nikes, but like Dion's, the pennies. A lot of those classic Nike silhouettes is huge in Memphis. And I think people be forgetting, like, damn, they got like a real, like they big on fashion out there. I will say that as well.
It's a
They
major.
big on fashion.
I mean, it's a major market for music.
Major
I
mark
mean,
major market.
I mean, outside of just Memphis, I just think Tennessee as a whole.
Facts.
Y'all got the hardest, the dopest artists out now. You know what I mean? Y'all
Yep.
got, you know what I'm saying? And outside, yeah, it's a major market for just music
Yep.
and showcasing talent.
Yeah, it really is, man.
And I don't like to just say Memphis as a whole. I always like to say Tennessee because it's still a
Yep.
state. You know what I
Still
mean?
state.
So yeah, I mean, but for myself, I love to really just tap in and just see
That's
what's
dope.
out there and what
Me
people
too.
talk about. You know what I mean? Have you
I
ever been
like
to New
that
York?
too. I ain't never been to New York, man, but that's
Oh
that's
man.
on my list. I know I need to go to New York, man. I need to, man, because I feel like I'm embodied with New York. I'm like a stepson in a way, man. I feel like,
I
but
mean, you're wearing a Knicks
I'm wearing Knicks. I'm
shirt.
wearing Knicks, man. So New York, and I always gotta give New York their flowers, man. Like because it just New York, just everything. Like if you get acceptance for New York, you basically get acceptance for anywhere. Like you really can make it anywhere, man.
Oh, for
So
sure,
and I
sure.
think people like kind of lose hold of that, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's everything, basketball, right? The Mecca, hip hop, the Mecca, fashion, like that is the cornerstone. So yeah, man, I definitely want to get out to New York this year. That's my goal, Ren. So
Yeah, well,
when
we
I'm
gotta
out in
look at.
Nashville, I got to hit you up when I make it
Yeah,
out there.
please. Whenever you make it down here, hit me up and I'm in Manhattan, so you know what I mean. I have no problem just showing you around
Oh
whenever.
yeah.
And the summertime is always the best because
Okay.
obviously there's so much going on. So you got the basketball tournaments, you got
Yeah.
it's so much. Then you got everybody's downtown, everybody's
Yep.
out and about. There's more. You're gonna get the city feel for what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even for myself, right? I was born and raised here, and there be times that when you live in real time, you're not really thinking about it. But when you hear it from another
Hmm.
person's point of view that's not or wasn't born from here, or wasn't born here, or wasn't even raised here, and they moved down here to see
Yep.
an opportunity or try to just see what it's about, they get this
Hmm.
inspiration, and that inspires me because I'm like, damn,
Yep.
I'm born here, and,
Yep.
and and we got people from all over the world that's just getting to it, and they feel like this is it, like this they
Yep.
made it, you know what I mean?
They
And
made it.
like I say, if you live here, you kind of it's already embedded in you, but you don't think about it like the way other people do. But
Yeah.
then when you take it to that point of view, you start to realize like this city is really, really, really dope. Like I mean, not even
Yeah.
the city, just the state as a whole. But if you're going to talk about New York City, there be times I'll be like, especially when it starts getting nice, I ride bike from borough to borough to borough, and I just start to see architecture for what it is and
Mhm.
what like it starts to paint a picture in my mind and I get inspired off of that.
All right.
Um,
Yep.
like it's just like so crazy because the city is really like if you could make it here, you could really like not to
Make
sound
it.
funny, you can make it anywhere for
Make
real
it anywhere.
because it's so fast. It's
Yep.
nonstop. It's like the city that never sleeps is for real. Like
For
nothing
real.
really cools down here. You can really have a 24-hour day and do a lot of stuff. There's always something going on.
You know?
There's always somebody doing something new. You could be in the block every day of downtown from Soho to Harlem, and you're going to see something new every day. It's not
Hey.
gonna be the same. It's not gonna be the same thing. There's always gonna be somebody doing some crazy shit, or or some entertainment. Somebody's gonna
Yep.
play a trumpet in the same street that you passed by the day before, but they're doing somebody's gonna entertain you by playing a trumpet, playing a saxophone, or somebody is gonna rap. There's gonna be something in the city that you're gonna be like, oh, I was here yesterday and this
Yep.
didn't happen. And I go and even living here in real time, there be times I'll be like, damn, I missed out. If I see an event from on social media, I'm like, damn, I should have known about this. Damn, I missed it. Damn, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But there's always something going on, and I learned to appreciate that. And I'm like that just in general with just traveling. Like if I travel, goes to another state, I want to see what's
See.
out here. The only difference is that New York is 24/7.
For
It's 24
seven.
hours.
Yeah,
And so
24/7, dog. That's one thing. That was the thing I heard, like you mentioned, man. Everything is like back to back, dog. Like it never sleeps. It never sleeps, like nonstop. Like it's always something going on,
let
like
me
you
say
mentioned.
I went to on the day before 420 when 420 is like a thing, obviously it's a thing, but like downtown there's always some type of thing going on from events or shows and it'd be free, you know what I mean, last year I'm just giving you an example, right, of how random New York is. 420 last year, me and my wife are downtown and we're just chilling, like on the bow in Soho. Soho's obviously like the fashion district and everything that you get to go shopping and move around. There's always something downtown. So we're going around, walking around, and I see Stretch Armstrong just chilling in the cut. And I'm like, and I see like a little platform. And I'm like, something's I feel like something's gonna happen today because he's here.
Yeah.
And he's probably DJing something that we don't know about. So I was like, let's chill in the cut. So we showed in the cut. We're in the back and we see like a little crowd area. I turned to my left, next to my wife is Larry June. So I was like, yo, what the fuck? I was like, yo, what's up, bro? I salute
Yeah.
him and
Yeah.
he all love, like he great, like he's dope. And he said what up and everything. We talked for a little bit and then I turned to my right and I see Cassidy. Cassidy's there. So I was like, oh shit, Cassidy. I don't even know what's going on right now. I have
Yeah.
no idea. Cassidy performs. After Cassidy performs, Joel Santana performs, and then after Joel's performed, Young Jock performed,
Damn.
and Larry June is in the cut just watching them perform, and G Easy is in the other side walking around watching them perform. That's how random New York is. Different entertainment everywhere, but everybody's like just so, you know what I mean? Like
Connected, yeah.
it's just and it's crazy. But now watching the free show, the moral of the story. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This year, I'm driving to Brooklyn. I went to go thrift shopping with my wife. Then I was like, yo, for some reason I feel like something's gonna happen downtown because it's 4 night. It's not 420. It's 419 now. So we're going
Yeah.
to four. We're going. It's on. It was a Saturday, 419. We're driving. We go downtown. I see the flyer Alchemist doing a DJ set. So I was like, oh shit. I forgot about this, but like I told my wife, I'm like, yo, let's go over here. If it's too crowded, we will just skip it and we'll go somewhere
Yeah.
else. The line was so short. We go inside like nothing. Alchemist is just DJing with like 10 people in the backyard. It started getting crowded later on. But we got there in the early stages, and I'm thinking that shit was gonna be jam packed in the early.
Yeah.
He's DJing. Then Tony Yayo comes inside. And then after Tony Yayo, Komega comes inside. And Komega starts rapping. And and that's what I mean as how random
New
shit can be.
York, it's always something going on.
Always. Especially when it starts getting nice. Like when I mentioned the basketball tournaments, right? Like if I mentioned like the summertime basketball tournaments over here, part of it.
Yeah.
Over here you have Rucker Park, you have Dykeman, you have Kingdom. Obviously now more than ever, like Dykeman basketball is like the popular tournament for the summertime. Everybody goes there. I live up the block from there, so I see it all the time. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But when I go over there, I could see Lance Stevenson just walk by. I could see
Yeah.
Kevin Durant just walk by. Jalen Brunson, the day he got traded from the Mavericks, he announced in Dykeman Park that he's the newest Knick to be on the roster.
Damn.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jalen Brunson. I'm the newest point guard for the New York Knicks. Nobody knew who he was, even myself. I was like, all right, cool. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, this guy is the star of the New York Knicks.
It's
You know
hard
what
to
I mean?
see.
But
Yeah.
that random. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo, Ran. So my homie, he went to New York. It was 2 years ago for the Rock the Bells, right?
right.
And he was actually walking. I think he was walking through Dykeman or walking close to Dykeman. It was at nighttime. I want to say he was walking or driving, one of the two. And he said, "Yo, it was people, like a crowded people." And he seen Jim Jones and Fab was shooting a video at Dykeman. He was like, "Dog, like Jim Jones and Fab is
It's
shooting a
random.
video right now." Like him and his girl were just walking through. It's like, hold
Yep.
on, like.
Yep.
But that randomness, like you will
Man,
see something.
listen, if you map it out right and whatever they promote on social media, if it's like a wake block party or if it's
Mhm.
like a anything that's going on in the city that you see multiple vendors from different brands from Supreme or I'm just saying Supreme, but any brand that's in New York that's popular
Mhm.
and you see their brand attached to it, guaranteed you're going to see somebody or someone around that area. So I'll give you an example. Like if Awake is doing a block party, I went to one last year, and
Mhm.
I'm chilling, and ASAP Ferg comes out, and he does a video right there, but he's doing it in real time, like at the event. So it was a video, but it's just grabbing things in real time. It's not like he's rapping in the camera and people are around him. It's just a real time video that they're grabbing POVs and behind the scenes footage. But right after that, Lil Yachty just walks in, and he's saying, you know what I'm saying? So like, and I'm older, so I see for what it is. I'm like, I give props to what props do, but I'm not.
Yeah.
I see the kids' reaction of not. I don't like to say kids, but like like late nights, like late
Yeah.
teens, early 20s, and how
Hmm.
they are with him, and I'm like, oh shit, I know. I knew he's popular. I didn't know how fan
Probably
base
he
people
was.
to chase him,
Yeah.
that like to run up on him, like I
Yep.
want to take a picture with you. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
So I saw that in real time, and this is all in the block party. So I'm just giving you an example of shit like that. You're going to see somebody just walk up and pull
Just
up,
walk up.
and and it becomes normal, especially more now with social media. You get to see, or not even see, you get to know where people are going to be at, so you could be there also.
Yeah.
Before it was like a mystery. You couldn't know. You don't. If you know, you
No.
know. Yeah. But
Yep.
now it's like if they promote something, guarantee somebody's gonna pull up, and if you know what I mean, they had like a food vendor that Complex was, I believe Complex was promoting it, but they
Mhm.
had a bunch of brands for food downtown in Brooklyn, and everybody was there.
Yeah.
Everybody. I mean, that was that. I'm giving you an example. That's the one that I was like, damn, I should have went to that, but I didn't. You know, but it was like everybody was in that shit, and
Yeah.
but it's not the first, it's not the last. Especially when you live here, you get to see
Yeah.
that.
You can
Um,
see it.
and you just gotta you gotta pay attention to it. You got wherever they promote, you gotta see it and be like, all right, I'm gonna go to here, and then after here, I'm gonna go here. But it's all close knit. And if you have a car, that's amazing because now you could go from different boroughs in a nick of time. And
Yep.
but that's what it is with New York. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure Cali's kind of like that in a sense too.
Yeah.
But my personal experience, you're gonna get that, especially when it's nice outside.
It's nice outside. Yeah, man. That's the full experience of what makes New York. It is what it is. You're right. How people just traveling hours and hours to go there, like you say, man, to start a new life and stuff like that, man.
Mhm.
So I gotta make it out to New York. That's definitely on my bucket list, man. So
And you'll come
I
out
definitely got you,
and you'll be
man.
way. I mean, I'm pretty sure you'll be so like it's a big city, so you'll leave out there like inspired. Like I'm like
Yeah.
that with other places. If I go, I could go to Philly, and Philly's like an hour away, but when I come back, I'm inspired because it's like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm out my comfort zone. I get to see
Hmm.
different cultures, different ways of life, different ways
Life.
of me, and I thrive off of that. I think it creates a different state of mind, a different point of view of
Yeah.
the big world. Why not just go? You know what I
Why not
mean?
just
Go see
go? It makes
and,
sense.
and you get inspiration off of that shit. So
Yeah.
I like to go off of that.
And that's priceless. That's priceless right there, man. Like you mentioned, just that inspiration. Like you go to a place like, damn, you know what? I feel inspired now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and that's what makes like you get everything. It's like the one-stop shop in New York. You know what I'm saying? And my homie, man, he went up there. He was like, dog, I could see myself staying up there. It was like for
I
real,
mean, it be
like
like that. It
he
be
went
like
up there back to back summers, dog.
yeah.
So and but yeah, man, I gotta make my way up there, man. I got to,
Listen,
like for real.
let me know, man.
Yeah, for
And I'm
sure.
pretty sure you got a lot of connects out here that you can
Yeah.
come. You could go to Brooklyn, you could go to the Bronx, you go to Queens. You go. I'm pretty sure you. And the great thing about all these boroughs is that you're gonna get different portions and different pieces. They're not the
Mhm.
same. So if you go to Brooklyn, and depending on what type of Brooklyn is different molds of Brooklyn. You're gonna get
Mhm.
you got hoods in Brooklyn, and you got gentrification Brooklyn that
Yeah.
everybody just goes out to drink coffee, thrift shop, and stuff like that, and that's cool. And then you got Queens, which I consider Queens a melting pot of New York because you're gonna get
Mhm.
every culture. You're gonna get Asian, you're gonna get West Indies, you're gonna get Hispanics, but different types of Hispanics from Ecuadorian, El Salvadorian, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans. So it's like the melting pot of New York.
Yeah.
And
That's
you go to
what I like
Harlem,
about New York, the melting pot. It's so many different cultures.
yeah,
That's
for
when I
sure.
that's something that I always just want to go and just gravitate towards. Dog. I love that.
And there's a lot of history. Then you go to
Yeah.
Harlem, and you know about Harlem already
Yeah.
with talk and the fashion, and then you got the Bronx, and then the Bronx is a lot of history because there's a lot of stuff that started from the Bronx. So like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of entities that you can check out, and you can get some type of inspiration because you know there's a lot of history from every
Yeah.
type of borough, what came out this borough, who's from this borough, um, and vice versa. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure if I go to Nashville, I want to see the restaurants.
Yeah.
I want to hear the music. I heard the music. I mean, the
Yeah.
food over there is amazing. The food, you know what I mean? So,
All the bars in
oh yeah,
Nashville.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I always hear about that, but anywhere you go to, you're gonna grab that inspiration because it's something that's out your comfort zone, and it's like I said, it's a big world. Why not see different things so you can bring that back home and open your mind? You know what I mean?
No, that makes sense. That makes sense, dog. Yeah, you're right, man. So I love that aspect, bro. And that's something that's really great that you brought up. Just going to those different cities, seeing, okay, how this person, what made this person want to put this outfit together, or this particular sneaker, or just, the restaurants and stuff like that. Okay, for example, like Nashville, hot chicken is big out here. Like, okay, why?
Just the barbecue in general
Yeah,
out here. You know what I
it's
mean?
definitely good. Yeah, I know.
Um,
I always want to try chopped cheese in New York, so I always
oh,
want to try, like,
yeah,
just
yeah,
just
nah, that's
just got
nothing.
to, just
That's
the
nothing, man.
nostalgia.
I take you to
Yeah,
the actual chopped cheese spot, like the main one is
yeah.
Haji's. That's where Fever's from. It's
Okay.
116th and First. Well, he ain't from there, but he's from Spanish Harlem.
Uh,
So there's Spanish Harlem, and then there's regular Harlem. So the
okay.
west side of Harlem and east side of Harlem. East side of Harlem is considered a barrio, which is Spanish Harlem, and Spanish
Okay.
Harlem is where Dame Dash is from, Jim Jones,
Black Rob was Black Rob
Black
from
Rob, G
like that.
Dep,
Yeah. Yeah.
Bloodshed. You want to get technical?
Yeah.
Children of the Corn days. Cameron's from 140th, so he's in the other side. But
Mm.
um, then you got the other side of Harlem, 139, Big L with the mural. That's where he's
Yeah.
from.
The Lennox
Cameron,
Avenue and
Max B, and then if you want to go to the Bronx, like where I'm from, where I grew up at, Big Pun, Remy Martin's from a further
yeah.
blocks away from me.
Yeah.
Mickey Fax, Corey Guns. Oh, Corey Guns is from another part, but like that's my area where I grew up in the Bronx. But then if you go further up in the Bronx, like the South Side Bronx, you got Fat Joe, Lord Finesse, Diamond D, you know what I mean? Buck Wild, like Dick getting in the crates, and then you go Queens and Corona, then you got Beat Nuts, Juju, you know what I mean? Then you go by Long Island City, Nas, Havoc, Pride, you know what I mean? Queensbridge. So
Oh, yeah.
there's so many entities and so many portions that you get to grab some type of inspiration from of just hip hop as a whole.
Yeah.
It's all over. It's all
All
over.
over the place. All over the place. That's
Yeah.
true. It is.
And you go walk through Marcy projects like nothing. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you already know off rip, you know what I mean?
Jay.
Jay,
Yeah.
that's it. That's it.
That's all you gotta say.
That's it. Brownsville, you think of like MOP,
Brownsville
John
never won,
Price.
never run, never will. Never
Yeah.
run, never will. Brownsville. Shout out to Thurston Howe, Thurston Howe the third, Brownsville,
Brownsville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that just it's
Amen.
just so much history. It's something in every borough, dog.
Everyone. And I guarantee you, man, and like I said, I'm speaking like for myself as well. I'm the same exact way. I guarantee once you make that trip, you're gonna go back to Nashville. Like I might move to New York.
Yeah.
And this is not even be selling New York. It's just the inspiration of a New Yorker
Yeah.
who learned to appreciate it as I get older. Because
Yeah.
I know it's hard coming from here. It's
Mm-hmm.
very hard. But if you can make it here,
Make it
anywhere is light.
anywhere.
Anywhere is light.
Like,
Anywhere is like, you know what I mean? And you can make it anywhere for real.
yeah.
And, and it's such fast pace. So if you born in a fast paced area, if you go somewhere that's a little more downtime and a little more slow, you're gonna kill it. You're gonna do your
Yeah.
thing. Like, yo, oh shit, I'm already like this. They
Yeah.
moving like this. I'm gonna go 10 miles per hour. I'm gonna go way faster than what the city carries, you know. But like I said, man, it's a beautiful. You'll have a great experience if you come out here for sure.
Yeah, man. Appreciate that, Rand, man. And like I
Nah,
said, I say thank you, Rand, man, for coming on the show, bro.
nah,
Blessing
man.
the platform, man. And love the projects, like I mentioned, man. All the albums that you've been producing and creating, man. High quality projects, bro. So, like I mentioned again, man, you one of the best in the game to do it, bro. Love every album that you've been dropping, bro. Man, keep doing it, dog. And any projects, man, I'm here to support it, bro. You always welcome on the platform. We can always chop it up, talk about it, man. Talk about, the Knicks, talk about, sneakers and all that, dog, for real, man. So,
Sure.
no, man, major salute, man. Like, I've been following your career, Rand, even, you know, dating back, man, when you was working with Def Jam and Rock Nation, man, and
Yeah.
Jamala, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, man, really, really thank you, man, for coming on the platform, man. Keep doing your thing, bro, because that's what the show is about, man. Giving flowers to cats like yourself, man, that keeping the culture alive, bro.
No, I appreciate you and thank you
Yeah,
for always tapping in and
yeah,
always showing your appreciation and love and just the words of encouragement means a lot to me. and it's always great talk. So I can honestly say now it's always great talk. Because this is the second.
Always, man. Second
Because
thought, second
after the
one.
first one, I was already tapped in. There was no
Yeah,
question after that. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
if you need on my part, I'm here too.
Man, appreciate that, man. Thanks to everyone who tuned in on the show. And also go check out Spanish Friend new project with him and Blue Azul, Deja Blue, man. It's available. It's out on all the streaming platforms as well. Make sure to follow my man Spanish Rand on Instagram. It's at Spanish_Rand and run those numbers up.
My man,
All
love.
right, man. Peace.
Peace.